Red, white, and blue lights flashing in the night. Stars on the banner, pyro burning bright. From the back roads to the big time stage, we call it like it is. No script, no cage. Boots hit canvas, freedom rings, steel chair sermons and title kings. From Friday nights to pay-per-view, we salute the fight. That's what we do. No suits telling us what to say. No filter, no fear, we came to play. This is Aaron Loves Wrestling, Unfiltered. Aaron loves wrestling presents. Yeah! From the first bell to the last stand. This is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love, and this is Aaron Loves Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rhodes to Bright Marquee. Wrestling is in my blood, there's no hate in me. In the room when the music hits, goosebumps when the champion appears. Every style, every fight, every ring, one love for the business. I am here to bring the love and the passion in every review. Aaron loves wrestling. AEW, WWE, NWA, New Japan, TNA. It doesn't matter about the brand. I love it all. Aaron loves wrestling. My heart is in the ring. No walls, no war. Just the passion for the business that I bring. Aaron loves wrestling. Fire, one world.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Aaron Loves Wrestling podcast, Unfiltered Wrestling, and I'm here with two good friends of mine. We just kind of collabed a couple weeks ago for a little while now, and man, it's Sports Jedi Kev, and of course Chris TV from the Sports Jedi Media Group. How's it going, guys?
What up, Aaron? How are you, brother? Thanks for having us here.
Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for coming. I was gonna have to go solo today because buddy Mike couldn't make it due to his moving, having to move. So we'll have to get him next week back up here. Maybe we'll have a 4-way. Oh, we just lost.
He's coming back.
Yeah, the technical difficulties.
He's coming. He's coming. No, he's coming. But yeah, dude, I'm happy to be here. Thanks. I've kind of, I talked with you a little bit, over the last couple of months and stuff, and I figured we could talk a lot of wrestling. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
you guys can't see me, huh?
I cannot. You're like John Cena right now.
Yeah. Oh my
What is
God.
going on?
This is not cool. What's going on? My camera got disabled.
It was working.
Yeah, try this one. Let's see.
Hey!
Let's go, tough guy. That intro got me. Well, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, man. Man, Aaron loves wrestling.
Yeah.
USA.
USA.
Tough guy.
USA. Heck yeah.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Thank you for having me. All jokes aside, I like to be a little bit of a prankster, ribber, all
I
that
know,
good
that's
stuff,
cool.
man. Thanks for having us here. We have Old Glory right here because, of course, we are on Aaron Loves Wrestling. Let's go, man.
And you got the Captain America shield in the background, I see, too. Look at that.
Yeah, you know that. And a big gold, too, who's 40 years old, by the way.
Big gold, 40 years. 40 years. I wish they go back to that one. I don't mind the new one, but the old school belts in general, you just can't touch them. Like the new ones are just, I don't know. I do like AEW's world title. It's really good. WWE's, though, it's just you have the big logo in the center, and that's it. So, I don't know. I like the big Goldie. Like Ciampa called it, Goldie. Or Sylvie, whichever title you got. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about TNA. We're going to talk about AEW. We'll touch on we'll touch a little bit on WWE Raw that happened this past week, if y'all saw it. And then there's some news. We got some big news coming with the Chris Jericho contract situation and, of course, the WrestleMania ticket sales. And then a little teaser of, Cody Rhodes.
What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, he talked about possibly turning heel with Rey Mysterio. yes on the podcast the other day. What do you want to talk about? So I want to talk about that a little bit because I have mixed feelings about it. Well, let's how about y'all introduce yourselves? Y'all introduce yourselves. Sports Jedi Master. We'll start with you.
Of course, I'm BX Sports Jedi Kev, the founder, creator of Sports Jedi Network. My co-host Chris here. We are Latinos with Wrestling Voices. You see us on our Sports Jedi Network channel. We cover all the different wrestling shows, watch-alongs, interviews, recaps, and not only that, we also do our New York-centric style sports. Chris will talk about his adventures on the Pittsburgh scene, but basically, I have MMA with my son and Chef Dan. You know, we started off with just two of us, three, and we have grown into a crew, a big crew. We have we have Chris came on about a year and a half now with us. Chef Dan, my ride and die from the very beginning, the Michelin star Chef Dan. Of course, my son Austin. We have Captain Canary from time to time that joins us as well. We have Elise Rain that's part of our channel, and guys in and out that come in and out. And we're just trying to grow a wrestling community.
Heck yeah, I love it. I really do. Sports Jedi. The Force is with all of us.
That's right.
The Force is with all of us.
Damn right. Damn right. No, I'm PGH Chris. I've been on the Sports Chat Network for, like Kev said, over a year now. I'm co-host, one of the producers there. Cover all Pittsburgh sports, mainly the Pittsburgh Steelers. Been doing, wrestling for a long time. Been a wrestling fan my whole life. So, like Kev said, just want to grow the wrestling community. Talk with a bunch of people and see where everyone's head's at. And this is the start of something that we want to do more this year. So again, thank you for having us both on, and I'm excited to talk some wrestling. I think, from us who might not all agree on a lot of things, I think it's cool to see us come together. So this is great, man. Keep doing what you're doing with stopping the tribalism and all that stuff.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's I've been watching wrestling since 2005. That's when I first started. I was around 12 years old. Shawn Michaels and Shelton Benjamin was actually the first match I watched on Monday Night Raw when they had that sweet chin music in midair. Sweet chin music heard around the world, as I like to call it. And as soon as that happened, I was hooked ever since. And I started getting into Jeff Hardy. He was my second favorite wrestler. Triple H. Then I got into TNA. That's when I first saw Sting in TNA. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. Went back on YouTube and researched WCW days and all ECW days. I watched wrestling since then, and mainly it was a lot of WWE, but I started getting into New Japan and of course still watch TNA. Then when AEW came along, I started watching them, and NWA and NWA Power, and they have grown since the beginning of 2019. They've definitely grown and gotten better. First couple of years are kind of I guess finding their identity, and then now they finally got it, and I love what they got going on. So I just basically watch what I can. So I'll catch some of the side stuff, like MLW and GCW. Oh my gosh, GCW. It's a whole different ballgame there. I went to my first live show last year all in Texas, and man, that was adrenaline rushing. I got some blood splatter on me somewhere. I knew it. But yeah, any kind of wrestling I can watch, I just watch it. And, there might be sometimes I find one better than the other, but, then the other one comes around and they do the other ones, whether it be WWE or AEW. So, or TNA. To me, TNA has been better lately. To me.
You're not the only one that feels that way.
NWA has also been better. I like AEW as well and WWE, but WWE's been a little bit predictable as of late. And right now on the road to WrestleMania, we don't know what's going on. We have no idea what's going on. So we'll see. Well, we know Roman and Punk. That's all we know. But getting to that, let's start off with some TNA. Speaking of TNA, we had a great show last night. Y'all did the watch along. I was watching, from work, and once I got to a stop point, I got to watch the show TNA last night, and it was a great show, especially the guitar case casket match. I love the twist on it. That was cool. And I love Elijah. I've been a fan of Elijah for, since I saw him in NXT, and I always thought he deserved a good push. And WWE just didn't give it to him. So right now, TNA looks like they're doing it. Maybe we'll see him get in that world title picture here soon, and maybe he'll get a shot at holding the title. But yeah, what are y'all thoughts of last night's show? I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, the whole show, all in all, the 2 hours of TNA, for being a sometimes pre-tape, tape, goes pretty quickly. There's times where I'm watching a live NXT and we're like counting, can't wait for the show to end, and because it's just not connecting, and it's no, it's just a different view for different folks. I live in Orlando, I love NXT, but when it comes to TNA, they do something different. They incorporate a little storytelling with some real good high action. And one thing that I always say on my channel, and I always on my reviews, TNA as a whole, they know how to put the ad placement in the right time. They don't do it mid-match where they take you out of getting in a wrestler's comeback, or when they're going to take a large break and you're like, oh, nothing is going to happen. I could walk around now and go get a sandwich, go to the fridge. TNA keeps you invested as a fan. And the match is over, they go give you the commercials, rightfully so. So I think they have a unique attack audience when for viewing pleasure, and it makes the show so smooth. Last night was a good case. It was recorded. If you're into spoilers, you can see the spoilers. If you're not into spoilers, I try to stay away as much as possible from spoilers. To see it when I react, I want to react and watch it fresh. I thought, like you said, the main event was unique. It could be a little hokey with the guitar casket. I mean, it could be very air. That was, so it was a fun match there. I love the fact where you don't know what's next now for Elijah or Mustafa.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that. I hate right now WWE will be like mid-match and then commercial break. Now people say, oh, get the VPN. Well, I shouldn't have to.
Correct.
I should be able to just watch and enjoy the show without having to get a VPN. Although, yes, it is a lot cheaper, but there are times where it has its bugs and its issues to where, you got to go find another link or whatever, or however you use it. I don't even know how to really use it, honestly, because I haven't used it yet. So I just watch from Netflix, and I'm in mid-match, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool. Oh, advertisement break. Oh, what the heck? So, yeah. I agree with that spot on. Chris, what'd you think?
No, yeah, I thought the show was good. I think, obviously they didn't start hot in the AMC era, and they needed to keep pushing forward in TNA on Thursday nights, and they have been doing that. I mean, they're growing every single week. That's the main thing for TNA right now, and that's great to see. And last night wasn't a bad show. Mike Santana, your world champion, he's obviously super over with the crowd, and always Santana proud. We've been lucky enough to interview him twice. Really good dude, awesome. But he's been featured a lot more on these shows as your world champion now, which is obviously, good. The matches weren't bad. Obviously, the casket match is different, something we really haven't seen. I have a Walk with Elias t-shirt. I am a fan of Elias, Elijah, all that stuff. I just, I wonder where he's going to go from here now, because what I'm taking notice watching it on Thursday nights with Kev is I don't see Elijah kind of evolving from these, big matches where it's like storylines and he has these gimmick matches that come out of it. I don't see him doing anything more than that. And Mustafa has to be in that main event scene. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. He's one of the best. I know what Santana has going on with Steve Macklin is great, but Mustafa Ali is a great heel to feed for Mike Santana, especially when they had, in my opinion, the match of the year last year at Rebellion. So I think they have something going on here in the next couple of weeks, but it was a good show. My only criticism, the knockouts division, they just need to find that one superstar, which, and Aaron, I think you would agree with me that it should be Tessa, but we know why it's not going to. But they need that one standout female that's really going to put that division over. To me, they don't have that. That is my only criticism with TNA right now. Other than that, they're growing every week. Last night was a good show, and when they go live again, it's going to be even better. So I expect good things going forward. It's just that minor thing with that knockouts division that they need to fix a little bit.
And I want to piggyback on that, Aaron, real quick. Yesterday when the show opened up, we mentioned it on a watch along with Chris. I would have loved Santana to first open up with the Leon Slater promo interview, the promo they had with the Nemeth brothers coming out, rather than the Ash by Elegant and the Elegance brand, the match between Indy Hartwell and Heather by Elegance, because it kind of felt a little cringy. When you start off the show and you want people to tune in, and if they, especially watching a movie, and there's wrestling, you want something, microphone, someone to talk you, hear a story, get you them telling a story and get you invested. Oh, damn, Dolph Ziggler, aka Nick Nemeth, is here. Wow, I didn't know he was there. Keep you hooked. Not the match. The match was not bad. Indy Hartwell always has a good match. H by Elegance, another one who Chris is one of Chris's favorites. That's gonna break out in that Elegance brand, as and like I said, Maggie. But then after the match is over, first of all, the goofball that comes out, the Elegance guy, I can't connect with him yet. He doesn't grab me. He doesn't get me yet. I don't get him because he sits there, he starts swimming, and then he does too much. They're kind of taking away from George the Iceman, who is he should be the male guy. He should be the male pundit who speaks and moves the glue of that group. He's just taken away. And then after the match was over, I was saying it on my review, I would have loved Ash to take her headsets and just slam them on the table or wipe the paper, not do that tantrum and start screaming and yelling. That was you're a 30-year-old woman to be doing that. It didn't feel forced. It felt unnatural. It felt unreal, and that was a disconnect. And I didn't want to sound negative because I love the knockouts division and everything that it brings, but that part there was not something for an opening bout there, because you need to hook and keep people. When your numbers are growing week to week, you don't want people to look and look for the remote control, especially when you had a really compelling NBA game last night with the Knicks and the Pistons, where they were coming back from the All-Star break. All those things you have to vary when you're watching live television. And I wish they would have placed Santana ahead of the knockouts match.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm same way as Mr. Elegance. When he first got introduced, it was kind of I didn't like it. To me, he's kind of like the anchor of the group. He's holding them down, in my opinion. There's no disrespect to him. It's just it's not his. He needs to find his thing, and I don't think this is it. And I think the Elegance brand was I think they were just fine with the three girls and the manager, and it just with adding him, it just kind of makes it cringe. And with the whole swimming thing, yeah, I agree. It was like, what was that? And so I wholeheartedly agree with that. Yeah, they could have kicked off with Santana, Leon Slater, and they missed. That was a great promo right there. Great promo segment. I mean, I would even minded starting off with the TNA International title match. I mean, kicking that off. So that would have been a good way to kick it off too. But the promo there, yeah. And I agree with the knockout. Honestly, it should be Tessa, but we're behind the whole controversy. Move on. What's done is done, and you just got to move on from it. She's in the company now, and she is one of the top stars, and she definitely was back in the day. I mean, heck, she was a TNA World Champion at one point. So I say, yeah, give her that push and give it a go. One woman that I thought would be great is Nikita Lyons, because she's kind of lost in the mix of NXT, kind of on Evolve, and she has that. She does have that star power and that pull to where she can gain some viewers on the show, former WWE talent, etc. I think she'd be a great asset to the Knockouts division, and even get Deonna Purrazzo over there. She's kind of voiced her frustrations with the booking lately with AEW, and her husband obviously is loyal to the TNA brand. So let's get out of that contract, get over back in TNA, and be done with AEW, because they ain't using her.
But let's talk about they have a collaboration with WWE. You know that everybody knows that's no secret, right? You have the Diamond, I call them the Diamond Club Exchange, whatever you want to call them, with Tessa, Mila, Fox. You have this AAA. Why not bring the Toxicas in and have them work? They don't have to do a collaboration for, let's say they do a live, and I'm using this as an example for Atlanta. They're going to work the Atlanta circuit then. Have the Toxicas come in, do a program of either the pay-per-view, whatever that stuff, and then whatever the other 2 weeks of it with different variation, and then have those ladies introduced. Something to fortify the knockouts division. Bring some NXT, like you said. Nikita Lyons was showcased once or two times on NXT television, then wasn't brought back. I'm like, why not?
She was on Evolve last night. Had a great match with Ariana Grace, or a tag team.
Yeah, they should have a match with that Kelly Armstrong. You know, couple. It doesn't mean that they have to work months. You know, I've said this as well. I would like to see some of these ladies like Holly Hudson and Marlon Grace, when they're not doing any live television, work an NXT circuit for one weekend. If they're not doing anything, have them work part of the NXT citrus circuits so they could get more reps, more bumps, work as a tag team collaboration, because it's only going to work for the television product much better if they get more bumps in front of a live audience. Because let's face it, their best place for them to get these bumps is in front of an NXT coaching staff or vice versa, TNA coaching staff, than going on these independent circuits and pick up bad habits for a hot dog and a handshake.
Yeah, I agree. Get them on the NXT brand and, you know, get people talking like, oh, where are they from? Oh, they're from TNA. Well, I like them. Well, we'll go check them out on TNA, yo. And then,
or even AAA.
Even AAA, yeah.
Nikita Lyons needs
great.
it. Nikita Lyons needs it, though, to me, because she I wouldn't mind her coming to TNA, and I think she needs it. But not only does she need it, obviously, but TNA needs it, and you could play her as that heel. So I don't mind that, Aaron. If they want Nikita Lyons, but I don't really think because like Kev said, I don't really think they have to necessarily have her just sign there. They had the partnership, and we're seeing it like you mentioned last night. I didn't check it out Wednesday because obviously I'm watching Dynamite and getting ready to cover the show after it's live or over. But you just said that Ariana Grace, who's now the Knockouts champion, teaming up with Nikita Lyons. Why don't they play that out on TNA?
Yes,
which is weird is that they didn't let her walk out with the Knockouts title last night.
I think that was before she was the Knockouts. I think it was pre-recorded before she already won the Knockouts title. So that's probably why. But still, the fact that they've worked together on those shows, you could put that on TNA a little bit. And I think it does benefit for
Blake Monroe
for both. Blake Monroe's another one that I wouldn't mind going over to TNA for a few matches as well. Blake Monroe's one of those people that, I mean, she was a big name.
Chris,
what?
Be back on.
He lost.
No, but it's true. Blake Monroe's those big names that she will work there. Yes, Chris. There we go.
There we go. My bad. I have no idea what happened. That's on me. But no, Blake Monroe was a big name before she even got to NXT. So that obviously helps her in her star power. And I think everybody, like Thea Hale, like she said it on when I was listening to Busted Open, like Thea Hale is now over and has a bigger push because of her feuds with Blake Monroe. So I think if she really, and just for her too, because I know she comes in with this presence, Mariah May, she had a great feud with Tony. I still think she could use NXT for another 6 months. So why not have her go to TNA and help some of these other girls get over and then send her off and she doesn't have to do that again. Mariah May is another good one that I would like to see in TNA. Maybe for once. And look, she can go against Indy. She could go against Elena Black now. Mariah today. There are a couple people for her that she could go.
Elena Black would have a good feud,
right? So I wouldn't mind that either.
Or hey, team them up,
right?
Division. Team them up. They'd be a great team, but they're kind of the way their attitudes are and the character, the way they're presented, they're kind of sort of the same. They're similar. So that'd be great for the Knockouts division. And that's one thing about TNA is the tag team division that is. I mean, you have Center and Saint here, but they were freaking awesome last night, by the way. And the tag team division, I noticed for both the men and women, it's lacking. There's not many teams in the tag. I mean, right now the main teams for the men are the Righteous and the Hardys.
That's it.
And you got the Nimitz from time to time, but they've been on their solo runs lately. And the Knockouts, I mean, with the Inspiration leaving to AEW, I mean, what do you got now besides sharing WWE talent? So,
yeah, and the Angel Warriors are
Angel Warriors
hinting a split because Xia Brookside looks like she might be joining this Birthright group.
Yeah,
it looks like it. Like because she could use a character change. I like Xia, I like Xia Brookside, but I think Chris.
I say this every week. I say this every week about her. Yeah, she needs a character change. Do I see Britt Baker in TNA or NXT? I don't know. That's a tough one because I think Britt Baker. I mean, it's no question TNA would be a good place
Oh yeah.
I mean,
for
Britt
Britt
versus
Baker,
Tessa.
right? But
Are them teaming together?
here's my thing: if she goes to the WWE branch, whatever, does she really have to go to NXT? To me, she's not Mariah. To me, she's not like a Mariah May. She's, she is the empire of that of a whole company.
Yeah.
So she does not, she
It was
has
built
that
around her.
right. So she doesn't have to go to NXT. So
Mm-mm.
my thing is, it's tough because I really don't know if we see her in wrestling at all. But I would rather have her go to the main roster. But I don't see why she can't stop at TNA for a cup of coffee.
I thought about this the other day. A heel faction with Tessa, Charlotte Flair, and Britt Baker.
That's like
a
a dream.
horsewoman. That's a real horsewoman because one of them is a legacy. Two of them are two fourths of the horsemen daughters. My goodness, yeah. Let's
even throw a Blake Moreau in there. Shoot.
I would love to see something.
They could be what Fatal Influence. They could be like a bigger and more superstar version of Fatal Influence.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, that's one thing about the whole Britt Baker thing. Like, there is just like there's so much around that. Of course, you see what to believe. What's actually true,
Correct.
What's not true. So a lot of the news out there, and some of it might not even be clickbait. It's just the source that they get, and they get it and post it, and it could be true, it may not be true. So is the source credible? As Matt Hardy kind of talked about that today on his podcast I was listening to, because a lot of people will make fun of John Alba because there are times he's been wrong or got some wrong information, but it's the source. It's the source that they get it from, and now you be careful of trusting that source again. So just got to be careful.
You got to be careful because there's a lot of copy and pasters.
Yeah, just like the whole Chris Jericho a couple months ago. I did a whole special about that where he could sign and things like that. But now we'll get to that later in the show. But there's some more news about his contract. One thing I want to touch on or look at is I really loved the green strap touch to the TNA International title. When I saw that last night, I was like, that's awesome. I want him to keep it. It looks great. I like the blue, but I really love the green. I really do. So what do y'all think of that?
It's a nice look. I hope that's something custom for the talent. Whenever the talent, whoever wins that title, they be able to get a color according to what they're, if the guy goes good with red, matching for the talent, I'm for it. I'm not one of those traditionalists that has to stay like this, pal.
Mm-hmm. No, and it's a championship that's relatively replacing one that already existed. They're trying to make it a little more meaningful, which they have been. I love it. It fits the vibe. Again, they don't really do side plates or custom belts. So if this is the one little title that they want to do, I think it's cool. And it's something different. I think anything, I could definitely see it, red being red next. So yeah, I love it.
Or even yellow.
It fits the vibe really well.
Yeah, I would like them to just put the names on the the whole side plate thing.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. I don't like. I was never a fan of the side plates. I was never a fan of the side plates. I mean, it's okay with the logos on the side with whoever's holding the belt, but I always love having the name on the belt. That's what I love.
Yeah.
Well, Carlos Silva wants to. I've got screwdrivers, and I'm available to. I work with screwdrivers every day, so I'm able to take the plates off for him and put them on. So he's got my email. He knows where to contact me.
TNA International title has been more relevant and better than the AEW International title as of late. I mean, we haven't seen AEW International title in 2 months? Well, we actually got to see a glimpse of it with Okada the other night, with a little minute promo or whatever he had. But as far as defending the belt, I mean,
but here's the one gripe I'm going to have a little bit of a minor pushback on that, Aaron. Okay. It's nothing major. Tommy Dreamer, I like to listen to Bust Open. He said it's going to be defended not just on TNA. He wants to do it. They wanted to call it an international title. And when they teased the Messiah, Ricky Banderas with Steve Macklin, I thought we were going to see that happen on AAA or somewhere. And that title really hasn't. I kind of would love TNA to at least have that title be defended other than Shiloh Hill. Yeah, we could call Don Callis too.
Yeah, and I like that. I listen to Bustin' Open Radio too. I love, especially Bully and Dave, especially when Dave gets going. When Dave gets going, it just cracks me up.
It's in his bloodline. I mean, it's in his bloodline.
Especially when the whole Cody run and WrestleMania 40, he was in that pink robe, but he was just going and going. I was just like, man, I needed a good laugh. I just turned on Dave LaGreca. That's what I turned on. Busting up Open Radio. But I love Bully's mind for the business. I love hearing him talking, and of course Tommy Dreamer as well. Mark Henry even. And I love hearing Nick Nemeth when he's on there. Mickey James when she's on there. I mean, they have a whole bunch of minds on the show that when I listen to it, it's just, it's great to listen to. A nice open opinion about any wrestling show. They're not trashing one and praising the other, and the other good. They might if it's that bad and the other one was better. So, and that's fine, but they're just not like actively bashing one and praising the other, etc. Like Bully talked about MJF. MJF is the glue and the centerpiece of AEW, holding it all together. So speaking of AEW, Dynamite this past week, my match of the night, of course, is the main event, Omega and Swerve. That's on my list of match of the year, along with Trey Miguel and Stacks last night. That was a great match. I got a list going, so at the end of the year, I want to select a winner. But yeah, this was a great card, and had some few spots in there. It was all right, but overall, the Fatal 4-Way Women's match, it was a good match. The Jon Moxley Martin Davis match actually turned out to a good match. And I love how what they're doing with Mark Davis and not having him as an afterthought with Jack Doyle being out, or Jake Doyle, sorry. And the promo with MJF and Hangman was good, except for one little, I have one critique about it. My boy Hangman Adam Page, that's my boy. And I don't like the whole not ever challenging for the title again if I lose stipulation. We had that with Cody, and it didn't work out with Cody. And now we have it with Hangman. I don't think they should do it with Hangman either. Now, if they had done it as long as MJF is champion, to me that would have been 100% way better than ever challenging for it again. You want to keep one of your top baby faces, the guy who's calling your heart and soul of the company last year, away from the top title. I mean, what are y'all thoughts?
Yeah, I look, I didn't think it was a bad show. One thing I've given AEW a lot of praise this year, and I won't be I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't as thrilled as happy in 2025. It wasn't a bad year, but there were a lot of things that I thought could have been done better. But what I like this year that they're doing so far, and I appreciate, is that they're giving a lot of attention, a lot of focus to the World Championship. Everybody wants to come at MJF, Kenny, Swerve, Hangman, Andrade. All these people want to come at MJF. He needs to be like what you just mentioned, what Bully Ray said about MJF on Busted Open. MJF has to be that glue to this company. You notice how much more interesting AEW has been this year since he's won that title. It has been, for the most part, it has been pretty much not bad dynamites with him as champion. So they got to keep that going. Omega and Swerve. Now, here's my one little thing. They should have started the show off with that face-to-face. Now, the Jon Moxley and Mark Davis match was not bad at all, because I like what you mentioned with Jake Doyle being out. I like how they didn't just push Mark Davis completely to the side and they have him at least, in a eliminators match. I don't mind that. That should have been after the face-to-face, in my opinion. You wanted to start off with the face-to-face and with your Kenny and Swerve. They didn't do that, and that's fine. That's just the minor thing I would have done differently. But the face-to-face is fine. But like you're talking about with Hangman never challenging for the world title again. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It makes no sense. This isn't, look, I don't think Hangman, his first run at least, was a great world champion run. I'm going to be completely honest. But he, like you said, he's one of your main event guys. He's been a pillar of your company since day one. He is the guy that won the world championship after it was in a briefcase for almost a year. I just refuse to believe that that Hangman is going to lose this match cleanly and never challenge for a world title again. That's why I think this match ends in some sort of something. I know they want to do a stipulation or Texas death or whatever, but to me, I just don't see how you can have an outcome where Hangman loses clean and he never challenges for a world title again. I don't understand that. But the show wasn't bad. The matches were fine. And I think Revolution, honestly, is turning out to be a pretty decent pay-per-view.
What about you, Sports Jedi?
Look, the build for the upcoming pay-per-view is pretty good. They're on a good run. They're getting hot. They're doing the right thing for that. Here's the thing. I think Hangman is a terrible promo. I think he misspoke. Didn't he? Wasn't he the one that said something that went off script that got CM Punk all pissed off? Was Hangman?
Yeah,
I think
the Colt Cabana podcast thing. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think Hangman knows how to speak well. I think he's no offense. I think he doesn't know what he's saying. I think he just blurs diarrhea in the mouth. Because for him to say, because here's the graphic that you have posted up here: Hangman, MJF, Hangman, Adam Page decides the stipulation for Revolution. What is it decide? He blurred out like a kid that can't tell a secret. Texas Deathmatch. So what's the point? So why change that graphic? Then he said, "I never challenged for the men's world heavyweight champion ever again." He said, instead of, I think he meant to say, as long as you're world champion, I will never challenge you. But he doesn't think when he just blurs. I think he said that out of nervousness or getting in front of I don't think speaking in front of a large group. I don't think he's comfortable with it. That's what it seems like. That's what it came up to me. I don't know what it is with Hangman that everybody gets on him when he's chasing. I think once he reaches the top of the mountain, everyone bails on him.
The same thing with Cody Rhodes.
That's the same thing, but Rhodes makes a lot of money in the chase.
Mm-hmm. And I think, honestly, Rhodes carries himself better than Hangman does. Like you said, he starts One thing that shout out to Jobber. I know if y'all follow him on social, Jobber Nation. He's controversial, especially with the AEW fans, but I find him kind of funny at times, and there's sometimes when he makes good points. And even though Hangman's my boy, and I love him because to me, I'm just a big fan of the cowboy characters because I'm one myself. When Hangman starts to get going and he starts screaming, it's kind of like you're forcing something instead of just, like MJF, just let it naturally come out, like I love MJF's snarkiness, it's him. It's not him portraying something else. It's him, Hangman could just be Hangman, just talk, calmly, like Magnum TA back in the day. He didn't have to scream or holler or anything like that. He just told you, straight up of what was going to happen and what was going on, or cut the promo. And when I watch his old promos, but when you had Hangman Adam Page, and that's the reason I bring up Magnus because a lot of people compare him to that. He starts screaming and going, and it's like, what's up with all the screaming? What's up with all the yelling?
Aaron, real quick on this one. Aaron, he has a person in that company that is one of the best tools of knowledge of information that he could go to, and Jake the Snake Roberts. The best guy that could speak in a promo without yelling and without going crazy berserk. He would just whisper and talk. He would look in and calm, cool, collective. Mm-hmm. He's there. Last I know, he's still with the All Elite Wrestling. Why not go?
He just shared.
Why not go and have that and go to him and have for advice and tips and cutting promos? Nothing wrong to educate or take your wrestling to another level or your promos to another level. And you have those coaches and those people there. Utilize them.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of legends at AEW. Paul White, Big Show, Adam Copeland, Christian Cage.
But for that cadence of promo from a Hangman, that you're telling me if he talks the way of Jake Roberts, the way he looks, because everybody compares him to Magnum TA, but I'd rather have him give me that Jake the Snake promo, classic Jake the Snake, and that look with that stare, because he has a look at the graphic there. He has an
Yeah.
intimidating look. Now, if
Yeah.
he just to talk calm, cool, collective, assertive, now you're like, yo, now you're really gonna are you really gonna fuck with the Cowboys? Excuse my language.
And I really think,
100%.
sometimes it has to do with some of the people that MJF's going against or Hangman's going against. What I mean by that is when Hangman is going against somebody that's 10 times better than him on the mic. Like you point out, we're pointing out it right now with MJF. You pointed out with CM Punk. I can point it out with Kenny Omega a few years ago when he was with Don Callis and they were feuding for the AEW title. You can just see with him going with Don Callis, you can see how Hangman just looked lost. When you have somebody who, in my opinion, who's worse or better, or worse or just as good in the same level as Hangman, it works. I think his promo segments with Swerve throughout their whole feud were fine because I think Hangman actually felt real. Where Swerve, kind of going into his house, like it felt like a real Hangman that we were getting out of him. Same thing with was it Jericho? In the beginning, yeah, it was Jericho. I thought that feud was pretty good too because again, it was a natural Hangman. I liked Hangman a lot when he first came on because he was different with the cowboy stuff. He's really good. Promos has never been his strong suit, but I always felt like if he's in the ring with somebody that he could match with, that it worked out for him. And I think just now that we're seeing it, I don't know. Sometimes I still feel like when he's with like a MJF who's so good verbally, he could maybe look a little like a deer in the headlights. But he doesn't have to, because think about it. Him screaming is the same reason why sometimes maybe the promos don't hit with Kevin Owens anymore. Because it's scream like Kevin Owens is a good promo. He doesn't have to scream. That is what it's reminding me of with Hangman. I don't think he's a bad promo. I just think the way he's conducting his promos aren't as good as they were with some people, and that can easily be fixed. But like I think Kev's right. It's just I just think it's also certain people with him. But again, he's gonna have a good match. He's a great wrestler. I love him and Ospreay, in my opinion, had the AEW match of the year last year at Double or Nothing. So in the Owen tournament. So it's going to be a good match. It's going to be a good match. Oh,
even their promo last year when they did that promo before the match.
And Hangman and Ospreay, because they both won. Hangman had a goal. He was also chasing for the title, but he also had him also chasing the title too. It's the more real Hangman because he actually wants it. That's kind of the thing that we got to get back to with him.
And that's the thing with a lot with the IWC is that they'll be like, no, I want someone as champion. I want someone as champion. And when they finally get it, and they're like, oh, well, the title run's boring. And then let's go with, what are we going to have that same energy as LA Knight? Like, everybody's pushing for LA Knight. We're going to have the same energy when he's champ? Yes, finally. There's some even talking, all right, let's put the title back on Cody. I'm not feeling Drew anymore. And I'm like, y'all were just screaming for Drew a month ago. What the heck? I actually like Drew's.
They're hot potato need the title. The title hasn't even been on MJF's waist, and they're already booking when he's going to lose it already. And can we have him tell? Can he tell the story? The company is getting better. He needs that title because people tune in. Like Chris was saying, there are so many challenges, and the same thing's happening with Mike Santana, by the way, in AEW, in TNA. There's so many different challenges. Eddie Edwards, Nick Nemeth, maybe Leon Slater cashing in. Elias, number one contender. There's so many, and AEW is the same thing. You have a lot of different people that could tell stories. You got Hangman. You have Swerve if he still wants to get back into that picture. When Samoa Joe returns, there's so many names for that. Will Ospreay when he gets healed up. You still have the Owen to tell the story there. Bobby Lashley. What happened with all the Lashley lovers that were saying, "Oh, he should be world champion"? Now we don't hear peeps from him either.
Shelton Benjamin.
So, exactly. There's so many people that you could tell stories for MJF to get that opportunity to wrestle, but they that's what it's all about.
That's right, Knuckle House. It's all about stories. Stories go nowhere. It doesn't matter who holds the belt, even if it is Roman Reigns. I agree with the stories, and that's what I love about AEW and TNA is that there's one world champion. I've never really liked the idea of having two world champions with WWE. I liked it back in 2015, 14 and 15 when they had one world championship. Now, granted, Brock Lesnar held it most of the time, so we hardly saw it. But had they had it on somebody else like Roman at the time or Kevin or someone on the show every week, I think it would have been a heck of a lot better than Brock Lesnar and him showing up every now and then for a pay-per-view fight and then goes back home. I like the idea of a one world championship because you have so many of your top stars going for the title. So now you have to split it. Now you got like Drew, we're going with Drew and Cody again. Why? What else does SmackDown have? Kevin Owens is hurt. Drew and you got Drew and Cody. I mean, we could go with Jacob Fatu. But do y'all think that's WrestleMania worthy though? Like, I mean, I don't know. I think with Jacob because he has that aura around.
With Jacob versus Drew?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't see why we can't do a triple threat here.
Oh yeah.
That's the obvious thing that they should do. But to me, I obviously think the WrestleMania match marquee to sell is Cody and Drew, and obviously Cody gaining it back. It's
Because they're going to draw the tickets.
Right, and I refuse to believe that we're getting a WrestleMania night one where Cody Rhodes is not in the main event challenging for the title. So
I think Randy and Cody would be the one that do ticket sales.
And that's where the problem is with you have like there's so many things that you could do with that world title. I don't know if it's a problem, but it can be because when we know that Cody's going to win the chamber, but there's all these possibilities. I don't know. Maybe there is some way at the chamber where they could figure this out and it makes sense. But that world titles, to me, the right guy has it, but they're trying to figure out who should be the next one to take it from him, and they don't know.
I think creative uses that as a crutch to give us these pedestrian SmackDown, pedestrian Raw. They use it as a clutch. They don't want to elevate anyone because they don't want to step on toes or we have to charge $49,000 for 2 nights WrestleMania for tickets, and we have to put marquee. So we have to convolute and get these main eventers on the top. So guess what? What suffers? The weekly episodic television, because they can't really storytell, book right, because they don't know how creatively to get to that predictable main event with Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes, because then you're without really killing the rest of the talents or tell you why should I care about a Lilia Dragunov or a Carmelo Hayes, because they're not going to be in the main event team. They're not going to, because we all know it's going to be Brock, Cody. It's going to be they foretold it with that stupid WrestleMania video, the vignette, that the poker table vignettes. Those are going to be your main players, and now we just got to sit back and watch them unveil it and tell us how they're going to get there, which is hurting the product week to week because it's stale. It's not too exciting. Monday Night Raw hasn't been really exciting. Tonight SmackDown is looks pretty promising, yes. Oh, yeah. But like you said, the Elimination Chamber. What's going to be different? Cody Rhodes winning the Elimination Chamber. I think it's him. I think him showing.
If you're a Cody fan, you're going to be excited. If you're not, though, is it something that you're ready for at WrestleMania? That's the thing.
We've already seen it so many times.
Exactly.
And Aaron, are they going to top whatever they do at WrestleMania? I personally don't care what they do at WrestleMania. They're not topping their 3 stages of hell match.
Nope.
No.
Why redo this again? That's why just add Jacob.
Someone mentioned Hell in a Cell, and I was like, why? We just had 3 stages of hell.
We had that exactly my point.
How many times do they have to go through hell?
No, right. So either might as well give us a multi-man match. And I know
maybe it's going to be a 4 stages of hell now. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't need that. It was they had it. But like, why can't they do a real quick before? Why can't they do a multi-man match? Because it worked out for 2 good matches last year. So they could easily do it. That's all I wanted to finish with. Go ahead, Kevin.
No, I like the multi-man match. I'm not against that. But what if I ask you? You're an uber Cody Rhodes fan. Do you want to? When are they going to pull the trigger with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes? You don't need the title for that. There's a legacy. Why don't we have that? Why can't? What is so wrong if Cody Rhodes wrestle Randy Orton?
Since we're not going to get Cody and Randy for the title, what would be a great thing to do is have LA Knight win the chamber, challenge Drew, and then have it to where maybe Cody does something heelish to Randy to get to eliminate him, or vice versa. Randy does it to Cody, and then we get just a storyline feud for WrestleMania with Cody and Randy, and you can have LA Knight and Drew for the title at WrestleMania.
And then have Sami Zayn versus Jacob.
Yeah,
If they,
Sami
if they
Zayn is
both,
the one that
if they
turned on.
exactly, yeah, I don't hate that.
Or if they're not going to do Oba and Brock, Oba and Jacob.
Okay,
Two big men
Ooh.
going at it.
I don't mind
Wow.
that. I think the first one makes a little more sense considering the fact that both Sammy and Jacob are chasing the undisputed championship. So I think that match works out a little bit more. But I don't mind that because I think a lot of people want LA Knight to win something. They want him to get something major. So yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that's the thing with the, I was going to say it's towards the end, but let's go ahead. We can jump into it right now. Since we're on it, the ticket sale. What the heck happened? All right, there we go. Ticket sales. I mean, this is a night one. I mean, they got 37,000 tickets sold, but look at, there's 5,000 tickets available for night one. Saying it's a little bit more for night two. I saw that this was the other day. It was about 7,000. So you're talking about a total of 12,000 tickets that are not sold. That's a lot. It may not sound like a lot, especially compared to what they sold already, but it's still a lot. And that's a lot of empty seats that they don't want, especially after the Royal Rumble deal that we had. It was definitely at the beginning of the show. It was fairly empty because of the women's, because they don't care really about the women over there. But towards the end of the show, as the show built, the Rumble got more full. But this is not what TKO wants. But when you're charging so much for WrestleMania tickets, plus the where it's at, it's in Vegas, one of the most expensive places you can go to visit. And not only that, now they're going to black out WrestleMania anywhere within a 50-mile radius, that you cannot go to any bar or anywhere to go and watch it. You have to buy a ticket or you can stream it on your phone. And this is the problem that I've had since TKO. At first, we thought it was going to be a great thing, them buying the company and all this stuff. And now it's become a complete opposite. I mean, the ticket sales are up, even some of the merchandise. I mean, they were selling Finn Balor's puppet for over $100 one time. I'm not paying over $100 for a puppet. I'm sorry. But nothing's going to change until fans stop buying tickets. And right now, I mean, around 12,000 roughly available still. Maybe we're seeing that. What are y'all thoughts?
People are still going to buy it. We've been waiting for this. I'm not going to people a bunch of hot air, because you always say they're not going to show up. No, it's so expensive. And then when the day of the event, the place is packed. I don't believe it until I see it. I'm going to be like Thomas from the Bible. I don't believe it until I see it. And, I got to see it for myself until that happens. And look, this is uber expensive. They go back to the same city where one is expensive. If you're not a gambler, what the hell are you going to do there in Las Vegas? If you're not going to play blackjack, and if you are a gambler, you're going to lose money gambling while you're doing the Vegas. It's the hotels.
You'll have money for merchandise.
Hotels is uber expensive. It's just really it's a perfect storm of I don't want to go. It's just too much. And now now that everyone else that piggybacks of doing shows like the Bully Ray Sausage Party on the Rooftop Rocker, now you won't be able now he won't be able to show the video the move because he's blacked out. That's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't go in the pool, with the big pool in the Caesars and watch WrestleMania either. It sucks. It's how much are they going to bend the will of the wrestling fans? How much are the wrestling fans are going to take? Because does it feel like WrestleMania? Where is it? It's going to be March already. We haven't announced. We only have one announcement for the Wrestling Hall of Fame and Stephanie McMahon. Normally by now we have like 3 or 4 getting inducted to the Hall of Fame.
I honestly think AJ is going to be one.
Hopefully.
I really
They
do.
should have done it with John Cena. They had John Cena there, but what a hell of
I
it.
think they're saving Cena for Saudi next year.
Why in Saudi? Pa qué?
I know.
Why?
I don't.
So
agree with
pajamas
either.
for the pajamas people to see him?
Hey, right.
That would be a
No.
Are they gonna give
terrible
him
idea.
halal meat?
That's a terrible idea.
It's a terrible. Come
It
on.
is a terrible.
John Cena's
Like,
Americana.
and this is like the whole Saudi thing. That when they were first started going, those crown jewels, like, okay, fun little pay-per-view, nothing bad. But now they're like really, it seems like they're really heavily leaning in Especially
Yeah,
now TKO, all because of that. I mean, they're
that
paying
Turkish guy,
he's
funding everything.
$250 million for
Bro,
WrestleMania.
he's funding that entire company, TKO,
Yes.
and in general. But no, about the tickets. So I agree. My thing is this: a lot of people said last year that them going back to Vegas was going to be a good thing. I didn't see that. I knew that because my thing is this: why would you go back to Vegas right before Saudi? And my thing, and I bring that up because we're already seeing the negative impact it's having. No one's buying tickets, all this stuff. With the WrestleMania going to Saudi, you're already losing the WrestleMania experience for 2027. Right now, this doesn't even feel like the WrestleMania experience now in 2025 when they're still here in the States. And last year didn't even feel like WrestleMania weekend because we only really had 3 matches out of the 2 nights that were actually good matches that I actually watch again. So I don't know why they would even decide to go back to Vegas. They should have stayed in, well, where are we going to go? New Orleans?
Yes.
I mean, Mercedes Superdome, they've
How
hold
about
some
how about 3 hours from New Orleans? I would have went.
right, and it would have got a new market. You would have had, it would have been fresh.
Yeah.
That's my point. It would have been fresh. It wouldn't feel like the same TKO Vegas, because when they go to Vegas, it just feels like TKO country down there, and it just I don't know. And then blocking the things, the shows for 50 miles radiuses in the bars, casinos, dude, those establishments, I wouldn't be surprised if they're genuinely pissed off because there are people that, and WWE knows this, and that's why they're using it to the advantage because they know that WrestleMania isn't the only thing that people go down there for WrestleMania to do. There's indie shows, there's rooftop fests, there's conventions, like there's so many other things that people want to do. You might want to only go to one night of WrestleMania and watch it somewhere at like, that what's that cool place that we always see on social media where it looks like they're it's like a 3 Caesars, like it's so cool. And it is unfortunate specifically, Aaron, because this is the last year before they go to Saudi, and we're gonna get none of that. And you went to All In Texas. So you can testify to this. Like the stadium, like I bet the ticket prices and the whole just trip was smooth. Now you live in Texas where it was at, so you didn't have to travel and any of that. But I guarantee you that was you probably what don't without being specific, less than $800 for that whole trip.
I spent roughly 650, between 600 650.
Nice.
That was the hotel. I split it with my friend though. But the tickets, it was 120-ish, $30, and it was some good seats. And
Exactly.
The main reason I spent a whole lot is because I went and got some pictures, some merchandise,
and it was affordable. You were able to do that while still attend the show. That's where they're losing people.
Yes.
Now for
That's why I
WrestleMania,
bring that up.
You're spending
losing
at least $2,500 minimum,
just to get in,
for Vegas, just for Vegas. Yep.
just to get in the building.
And you're drinking a bottle of water.
Exactly. If you're going to get a beer or soda or something, you're spending another arm and a leg to get that.
And then people think they want to go to the SmackDowns and then the Raw afters and the Hall of Fames. Like it's not going to be doable. And people are still you're still going to get green shirt guy that sits in the front row. You're still going to get.
I honestly think he's getting free tickets.
Oh, they all are.
Yeah,
they all are.
They all are. The same. You see the same faces over and over. They're getting.
There's no way that.
Right.
I mean, the dude could have won the lottery for all we know, but still.
Right.
No, even with the lottery, the way they're charging for those tickets, no. Look at Abu. He sold all his 7-Elevens. He doesn't go up there no more with the Trinidad flag.
Yeah. So I don't know, dude. It sucks because again, this is the last year that they're gonna be in the States. WWE Creative isn't helping this show make it feel special, and their business side of things isn't either.
Now, a few months ago, Tony Khan mentioned at some point this year he's going to announce some event he's planning in the States around WrestleMania weekend next year, where he'll have WrestleCon and all that stuff.
I don't. You know what? I know people might view that as like a bad thing. I personally don't, because why not take advantage? If they're going to Saudi, why not take advantage? I'm
WrestleFest.
like something like Or Kev, I know you brought up some ideas of something that they could do during WrestleMania weekend.
They're gonna do during WrestleMania weekend. They're gonna do Stand and Deliver Saturday, and they're gonna do WrestlePalooza. The WrestlePalooza is gonna be a showcase of NXT, TNA, Evolve, AAA,
That's what we hope.
Noah, and that's what they're gonna do so they could keep it in the United States for all the wrestlers that are not going to Saudi, and they could, because if they don't do that and they take advantage of that, that's when if the Khan family don't do anything to do that to that level, then I don't know. But I don't know. They have an opportunity to really grab the American wrestling audience back. But I can see TKO. That's why they did WrestlePalooza. They trademarked it, WWE. They're going to do a WrestlePalooza in the nighttime in Vegas. They're going to do a Stand and Deliver in nighttime, and I think that's what's going to happen.
I wouldn't mind that. I would like that.
But here's the question: are they going to outprice wrestling fans? Which they probably will. No. What about the WWE does a wrestling?
If the WWE does like an alternative.
Yeah. Either way, they're going to outprice you. Actually, the Saudi one's going to be cheaper.
I agree.
Right.
The economy, and WrestlePalooza is where they're going to probably get their money because they're going to charge at the butt.
He has a good point.
Yeah, of course.
So that's a possibility. But if they don't, then it's fair game for TK. And
absolutely. I wouldn't be opposed.
I would like it. Maybe I go depending on where it is.
I thought of something around that time because when is around that time, that's when MLB starts up. Do a MLB themed pay-per-view, kind of like WCW did back in the day with Slamboree. And
they could do something.
I would say keep it, and every year you go to a different baseball stadium.
Tony Khan could use the Jacksonville. It's easy for a lot of people to get to.
True, but I'm just saying, like, create a pay-per-view around where the baseball season kicks off.
Okay.
And then
they could even start it with All In, since they already have the relationship with the stadium. I don't mind that because. And Kev,
like a baseball team.
They already own the name Grand Slam.
Hey,
that is also right.
Use that. Yes,
use that. Right, exactly. But
Grand
we talked
Slam.
about this multiple times where when they did All In Texas, and you were there, but us watching it on TV, it generally looked like a good setup.
Yeah, it was.
Like, so I don't think them going to baseball field is like. That's something that they could definitely do. Like especially if they want to keep All In the States, or if they, when they're going to Wembley Stadium, like next year, they could do a stadium show in America during that week and have it Grand Slam. And so I like that. I like that.
But Chris, you're limiting yourself because it's in April. That's why it's got to be Jacksonville. It's going to be Florida, but you can't do it in baseball field because baseball season starts. That's the issue that they have.
Well, you can go to the stadium when they're playing, like Rangers and Astros. They're playing Astro Stadium. Like you do at Globe Life, vice versa. You can do it at Minute Maid the next year, or whichever stadium is open. All right, this is where we're having.
That's why I said Jacksonville. He's got the Jacksonville.
I don't know why they don't do a Jacksonville stadium.
Yeah.
Show.
It's not a bad arena. It's not a bad stadium. That football stadium isn't terrible.
Well, they have a freaking pool on the thing. Yeah. They got a whole thing where people
you could get people from Georgia. You get people from the Carolinas easily a couple hour drive to Jacksonville. Orlando's only an hour and a half.
I mean, honestly, do an All In next year there.
I don't know why he don't take advantage and keep the cost down. They own the stadium.
Mm-hmm. I think honestly he's waiting to do All In when they build a new one. That's what I'm
okay.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
The new one will be built in 27, I think it is.
That makes sense.
I mean 28. Sorry, 28.
But that's if they have a TV deal.
That's true. Yeah. And that's another good thing to talk about is this whole Paramount and Netflix bidding for Warner Brothers, going at bidding for that. What do y'all who y'all think is going to get it?
Well, obviously it is a choice that is, I believe, up to the federal government. So they approve it. Mm-hmm. My thing is this with AEW. I'm not going to bring it up completely, but with the whole Brody King thing, they are. Yeah. That's why that could hurt, because Warner Brothers is trying to sell. And who do you think approves all this?
Yeah.
That's
Presidente.
where I'm at with that. I don't. It's all about getting it approved. The way it's looking, I don't know.
Let me ask this to you, Aaron. I want to, because you know me, you're. I don't mean to take your hosting for. Your thoughts on the whole Brody King? You actually, you wear a shield. You protect our country. You're a serviceman. Your thoughts on that from you? I want to hear it from you because it's easy for someone to say from the outside, but we're not the ones putting our lives and putting on that vest to protect and serve. But no matter what, in what line of form that you do, your thoughts.
Well, the whole ICE thing, it is a government agency,
Correct.
and they're doing their job of getting the illegals that are not here legally, and some of them have a bad criminal record. And this is where some of the horrific things, no, I won't say on air because I might get banned, that are happening to innocent people. And it has turned into a political issue when it's not. And I listen to Street Cop podcast, and they're cool. Cop podcast, and one guy on there, he said that we don't need to politicize law enforcement. There's good ones and bad ones. There's bad ones. There's bad ones that think they are all that in a bag of chips when they're behind the badge, and they think they get away with everything. So that's when they do something out of line, unlawful, unconstitutional. Then you got your good ones that they're just doing their job, and then that's when you get those that don't want to go to jail or get arrested, and that's when they combat, and things can go south real quick, and that's when you get drastic measures. Now there's a lot of things we're just seeing outside in off of a video of a phone or something.
Right.
We're not seeing the entirety of the situation of what's going on and the totality of circumstances of why did the officer do what they did. And that's where it all comes down to. And then when it comes down to the courts and they view it justified of whatever happened or unjustified, then that's when, they go back to the totality of the circumstances. Why did this X, Y, and Z happen? So the whole ICE thing, I just ignore it. That isn't the thing that really has bothered me. One thing, and I even shared it, was the all cops post he did a few years ago. And I know it's been 3 years, but he hasn't come out and apologized for it at all. And some are saying it was just a joke, but that's not something you joke about. That's something that it's not for anybody. It's not something for anybody. Like, what if he did that towards a specific race or something like that? What would be defending him then? Like, would it be okay then? No. So doing that towards law enforcement, to those who sign up, swear an oath, protect your city, to protect the parish or the county, wherever they're at, and then you want to mix in all cops into that because for whatever reason, everybody has their reasons, maybe a bad experience or something like that, and I'm the one that can empathize and try to put myself in someone else's shoes and stuff. But I never didn't forgive Brody, but as far as supporting him and stuff, to apologize of what the post he did. And that's where a lot of people get me wrong. And that's where I, if he's going to be on air, I'm just going to watch and just not, really care, honestly, because of that, because that is it's just a bad look. It's a bad message. You shouldn't be sending that kind of message toward anybody. So that is my opinion.
And you know what's unfortunate for Brody King? He's starting now. MJF just elevated him.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I that should whatever he stands. I could respect the man for standing on what he believes in.
Stay out of wrestling.
Exactly my point. That's
your
exactly my point.
Statements outside of wrestling or sports in general, entertainment in general, but leave the entertainment in the sports for where we come in to escape all that, to enjoy the show. What if they were chanting MAGA in the middle of the show? I wouldn't want that either.
And the thing is, Aaron, this because you're literally Aaron loves wrestling. We're
Yes.
already so freaking divided as wrestling fans because of the companies we choose to support. This
Oh, yeah.
makes it worse, in my opinion. This situation, it's not good, and we're talking about this because we're talking about the Warner Brothers merger and with AEW not getting a TV deal. Again, that all gets approved by the federal government. Are they gonna approve this after their AEW are essentially coming at the federal government? That's
And I
what
don't
is.
think the federal government should have a say, in my opinion.
I do I agree as well.
If you're
But
gonna buy something, you're gonna buy it.
if it's for, I just think it's the money. I think the
Maybe.
networks,
Yeah.
FCC, all that type of
Mhm.
stuff. Like I don't really know the specifics, but all I agree. It is odd that they have to approve stuff like that, but
Mhm.
that doesn't come in their favor right now. So
No.
and we don't
Yep.
know. I don't personally know where Warner Brothers like lies on the political scale. So that's also a thing that we got to watch out for. So they're in some trouble. They are in some trouble where people don't think it or not. And the thing is, he is appearing on Dynamite in the next 2 weeks. Hell, he's gonna
Mhm.
probably appear on Revolution, and those chants are gonna start over and over again. Dude, they
Especially
freaking
the area
chanted it,
they're at.
and
Mhm.
what? It doesn't even matter at this point. They did it in Australia.
That's true. Which is funny because someone pointed out that they have a more strict immigration laws than we do.
So the point is exactly, no, you're right. And the point is, guys, they're going to, these people probably do support what's going on. But if you're a diehard fan of Brody King, or maybe you don't care about that stuff, kind of like I do. But if you're a diehard Brody King fan, you're gonna cheer the chants.
Mhm.
So it's not gonna help him, guys. It's not gonna help him.
I mean, maybe it might end up on Prime.
You're probably right.
Which
You're
I got
probably right.
I wouldn't mind that. I don't have Paramount, so but I get it if I'd drop HBO and get Paramount if need be. But if it goes to Netflix, then will AEW appear on Netflix?
No, they already said it's not going to be on there.
Yeah, I don't,
See,
because they
and that's
don't.
the thing.
AEW isn't on their sports library. It's on
Right.
their entertainment.
But
That's kind of
the
the thing that screws it.
and they're going to Minnesota after that.
Yeah, they're going to Minnesota.
And they're going to
So
Minnesota. Yeah,
that's going to get
It's
robbed.
gonna be
that's going to get
loud.
crazy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. As far as the Brody King, he has this band, and I don't know if y'all have read the lyrics, but it really promotes violence and murder. And I know he's a death metal band, but still, I've heard death metal bands, and they're not even that bad as what he's singing. That's another thing why I'm not a big fan, is that kind of music and message he's sending. You don't want to promote that stuff. You know, that kind of stuff gets in the wrong person's mind, and then they act out.
Correct.
And that's what we don't need. And that is why I'm against that and don't agree with supporting him. And if you're a fan, you are. I'm not going to belittle you. I'm not going to put you down. I'll still have a civil conversation with you. We can still talk. We still talk about wrestling, all that. Because when it comes to politics, even religion, I have my faith. I have my faith in God and Jesus Christ. And if you disagree, you disagree. You know what? That's the beauty of America.
Yep. You could have.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with Aaron. A lot of people, either in social media, which this is a big. They say it's a big line of make believe, but even right now, collaborating and speaking, there's not a lot of people that could be adults or grown up to agree to disagree. There's nothing wrong with us agreeing to disagree. We're not going to come to an agreement. So let's agree just to disagree. You have your beliefs and I have my belief, and we'll be adults about it, and we'll keep our conversation.
We can do that with sports.
Yes, and the spirit of the debate, like the greatest debate.
Giant Cowboys fan. You know?
Yeah, the greatest debate on right there. Troy Aikman or Eli Manning, who's the better quarterback? We could exactly. We
We
could
can
have
debate all day long.
we could debate and we can agree to disagree, and we're never going to change. I'm never going to have you say Eli's better, and I'm never going to say Troy is better. So we can have that great be adults and say we're not going to agree to it. So
And he'll even chime in with Big Ben or
even Ben would do Super Bowl. Yeah, even if the first one the defense won it for them. Right?
yeah.
See, you could agree to disagree.
Shots fired.
or I got or Derek Tyreek caught one by luck on the side of the helmet. I mean, we could agree to disagree.
That was an impressive catch, I guess. That still is free in my mind.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Why can't wrestling fans agree to disagree?
We always
About
me,
anything.
dude,
Like,
me and
that's the
Kev
thing.
agree to disagree on the biggest thing. What era of NXT was better?
Oh yeah,
We agree to disagree with that every week.
every week. And, you know,
Some will say with the WWE era. Some will say the Golden era with Hogan and Macho Man. Some will say the Attitude era. Some will say Ruthless Aggression era. Some will even say the PG era. That's few, but they do. And
the Tribal Chief era, they got billions of dollars for that.
The era we're in right now, it's better than it's ever been. Blah blah blah. Like everyone has a different opinion and reasons why, and that's where we can all just kind of agree to disagree. That's about anything, any conversation that you have. And it just has to be about wrestling. It be about anything where you can still agree to disagree, still be civil, still be friends. But some people, they take it so personal and they say things, they lash out, and it's like, why?
The name calling and the belittling. Why do you need to name call and belittle? Just, you know what? I don't agree with you. Get lost. That's it. Don't they cross the line of disrespect? We're living in a generation of disrespect. Everyone tends to takes liberties to be very disrespectful. The era of respect is gone.
Dude wipes era.
We're in the dude wipes era.
We've been in the dude wipes era.
By the way, they are an affiliate sponsor of the Sports Jedi Network. No, all kidding aside, thank you, dude wipes. We really appreciate it.
We've been on the dude wipes era.
Tribal Chief has entered the building. Speaking of the Tribal Chief, he said his name and showed up, just like Joe Hendry. So let's get on with. We'll talk about the whole real quick. Cody Rhodes. Everyone has been saying of him, he needs to go heel. He needs to go heel. Well, he said on his podcast that he feels right now that he likes the challenge of being a babyface, because there are many challenges being a babyface. You know, you got to do everything the right way. You're the good guy, and we saw with Cena, we saw with Hogan, we saw with many others. Fans will hate it. It's boring. Or again, we're seeing him as champ again, Cena 18 time again. I mean, it's 17 time. Sorry. So that, there's a bigger challenge of being a babyface than there is a heel. I mean, what gets me is when I go back and watch old school days, right? Heels. Fans hated the heels. Like, they would literally show up at their hotel room ready to throw down because you screwed over their favorite wrestler at winning the title or winning the match. Nowadays, they get cheered. Heels aren't heels anymore, in my opinion. Some are in their own way, but even like MJF, he can be as heel as a heel can get, and people are still going to cheer. They're still going to like what he says or something like that. But you won't have them showing up. And I'm not saying that we should, that's crossing the line. But as far as heels, they're not hated as they used to be as much anymore. They're loved now. Everyone loves the bad guy. So with Cody Rhodes turning heel, do you think it would really help and elevate him, or do you think it would hurt him?
It would help him.
Yeah, Chris. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No. I would just say it would help him. Because I've been saying this since the day that Cody Rhodes stepped foot in WWE. I want him to go into that, like your last comment here, Phil Foley, New Japan Bullet Club. Cody was great. This guy, and when he was his late run in Impact, great heel. Ring of Honor. Go back and watch this guy when he was a heel. Mm-hmm. It is phenomenal. No pun intended. It is great. My thing with Cody, look, for the record, I don't have an issue with Cody Rhodes because I know I haven't been his biggest fan of since he's come back to the WWE. Mm-hmm. I don't like this WWE version of Cody Rhodes. Now, is he the biggest QB1? Is he the biggest star? You could argue that. Yes. Is he making the company a load of money? Yes. Is he the poster boy? Yes. I get that. He's really, really, he's a really good wrestler. But it doesn't, some things just don't hit for a long time. And
he's the only wrestler fanatics to make it in the top 10 as far as athletes as a wrestler. Not even
like
Cena's done that.
like he's great. Like he's so athletic, he can do a lot of good stuff. Like, and
He makes
he's
them
good. He's good at what he is supposed to do. Like he's a great baby face. But my thing is like, it's risky because they want. My thing is this: I don't think they would actually let Cody Rhodes be the heel that I know. I think Aaron, that you know, that we all have seen back in those old Ring of Honor New Japan days with Cody Rhodes. They're not going to let him do that. Now, there's also a heel version that they could work around, but it's too risky for WWE to do that, in my opinion. But I think it will make fans actually interested. I mean, he's already starting to get booed. Like somebody said here, it gets stale for a while. Maybe a rebrand's good. I don't know. I think it could help, but it's also a risky business move, considering how over and how much money he's making them as a babyface. That's where it's kind of confusing to me. But I want it. But that's the part that just gets me to where I just don't see it happening.
They're not going to change it. He's not. It wouldn't benefit him turning heel because little Timmy, the little 7-year-old, little 6-year-old that cosplay as Cody Rhodes, tells dad and bugs the crap out of dad that he wants to go see Cody Rhodes. There is no more house shows. It's all strategic. We have to go see it at a premium live event. We have to go take little Timmy to Vegas to go watch Cody Rhodes and spend $25,000 to go. That's the reason why they won't change Cody Rhodes. All the little Timmys, all the little boys there, because they're also going to be the next generation of wrestlers that are going to spend their money and take their little Timmy the third to WrestleMania and so forth. That's why you need a baby face. And you need that kind that's making all that kind of money that gets you in there. Is he stale? Absolutely. Listen, I'm said it, and I said it until this day. They should have let Roman Reigns break Hulk Hogan's record of post WrestleMania streak. And past the 13-16, if they say Hogan is so toxic, why were you pigeonholing Cody Rhodes to win that title at WrestleMania 40? Roman should have kept the title, and the real story was Madison Square Garden at the Survivor Series.
They pulled the trigger too soon.
They pulled the trigger because a guy cried in a pink robe.
And you talked about that earlier, Aaron, which is funny.
You don't know how pissed off I've been since then. They could have got Rock and Roman, get that crap out of the way. We would have not had all this nonsense with Rock taking vendettas against the WWE, not showing up, Travis Scott fiasco. You know, that's all a conspiracy. It's going to be written in a book, and I can't wait. I might be 6 feet under, but I cannot wait to say I was right from beyond, because I know that pissed off Dwayne. That pissed off Dwayne. He wanted to wrestle his cousin and call it wrestling quits. He knew he was going to go for Academy Awards. He was going for Oscar Awards and doing movie roles. He wasn't really thinking of the wrestling. He wanted to do that WrestleMania movie. Done.
At 39.
He wanted. That's exactly
where they should have done it.
Yes.
Especially with the stage, that domestic
and Roman
stage
Reigns and Cody, one should have been in Philly. Then he should have won it at Madison Square Garden with the picture of Dusty Rhodes on the Jumbotron and Cody having the world title in his hand and all the superstars coming out there. I mean, it just would have been,
And they could have had someone pour the champagne over Cody's head the way Andre the Giant did to Hulk. They could have done all that and homage back to the past. But I don't know what happened there. With the I don't know if Rock didn't want to come back because the old man was going to get some trouble with the Janelle Grant situation or what, but he just WrestleMania 39 was set up for Roman and Rock, Hollywood ending. That was set up perfectly.
And it was, granted, WrestleMania 39 I still think is the best WrestleMania we've had in a long time.
I agree with you.
Even with that, we got Roman and Cody. I thought that from night 1 to 2 was great. But
a couple of things came out of it, though.
Right. No, I agree. Like, yeah, sure. Of course.
The chicken.
Yeah, that did come out of it. That started a whole meme with Cody. But the thing is, too, like, yeah, I agree. And Aaron, too, I think they wanted to do this at WrestleMania 40. If they weren't going to do it at WrestleMania 39, they definitely wanted to do it at WrestleMania 40. That's why they had, you know what? If I can't go against them, you're going to at least give me the stipulation. That's why they did the whole stipulation where Seth teamed up with Cody, all this and that. So can I at least do something with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania if you're gonna?
Yes.
Yep. And I did like the angle with the whole at that pre-show thing that they did. I really did like that. That was really good. The promos, the Rock, Cody coming out and disrespecting the bloodline, like that was a pretty good angle. But yeah, having it at WrestleMania 39, Hollywood Rock. And then I do like the final boss change though. Like that's one good thing that came out because I love the final boss.
I totally agree with you.
But honestly, after that, it just went nowhere. Like I thought when Rock came back last year, it was going to go somewhere, and then it didn't. And now it's like I think Rock's done. Honestly,
I don't think he ever gets in the ring.
Unless it's guaranteed Roman Reigns. That's it. Unless it's
maybe Roman Reigns and Turkey a la Sheik shows up in his house with some halal meat.
Honestly,
and some hummus.
This honestly will be a good swerve at WrestleMania, no pun intended. Have Rock cost Roman the title at Mania against Punk, and it sets up for their match next year. Kind of like Rock cost Cena against The Miz, and it set up their match the following year.
My only concern about that is Rock set Cena up for the biggest heel turn in the history, and he never showed up after.
That was a Vince McMahon decision.
Yeah, Elimination Chamber last year?
Oh no, last year. I thought you meant the first time. We're talking about the first time.
Right. No, yeah. When The Rock he came out there, does that, he didn't follow up. There was no follow up. That's why I'm scared of The Rock getting involved again. Because if he gets involved again, how do we know that there's not going to be another? How do we know there's going to be a follow up there? Because there hasn't been with this. I don't even think The Rock can come back and even start that anymore. No. Well, I don't think it'd be so weird for The Rock to, in my opinion, just show up and do that because. What I love it. What is your idea? Does it make sense? Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense if you want to get The Rock and Roman to Saudi, whatever. But it's like the last time we saw him, he was turning Cena heel, and we're never going to see Cena in WWE as a wrestler. So what's the point of really him coming back now?
Besides that big moment for Cena, because it was a big moment.
Yes.
Other than that, the whole, except for the AJ Styles match. And I would even go to in the Cody Rhodes match. Everything else was kind of like
the Punk and Cody match was good.
Yeah, Punk Cena match was good.
Even the promo, the
promo, especially the throwback, and then how Cena did the mic bomb or pipe bomb himself. So those few moments. But other than that, overall, the heel turn just kind of felt lackluster and. To me, it was just the wrong time. He was at the end of his career, and they should just kept him. To me, they should just kept him face, have him have one more run, even with the championship. If you're going to turn him heel, he could have won dirty at Mania against Cody and turned heel then. Instead,
let me ask this, Aaron. Let me ask this and ask you both, you guys. If the Cena turn happened. And they weren't spending the road to WrestleMania in Europe like they did last year. That's why we didn't connect with the road to WrestleMania. It was in freaking Europe all the time at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It took the American people out of going to WrestleMania and feeling WrestleMania because it was at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Even if you wanted to watch it at 7, 8 o'clock when you got home from work, you couldn't put on social media because everybody in the dirt sheet was giving you all the spoilers. So you didn't get into the road to WrestleMania. So the IWC kind of ruined a little bit of the run as well. Do you think if they would have not done the road to WrestleMania in Europe, maybe made it probably have been different? Maybe we would have seen, some involvement, maybe some Travis Scott, which he sucks, but still, I don't know. Something would have been different. I know we don't get the kid in Brussels, but
I think Rock getting involved, like heavily involved, would have made it better. But Cena's on his retirement run. Nobody wants to boo this man. This is the last run with the GOAT, basically. He's not my GOAT. My GOAT's HBK. Always will be. But him turning heel is just at the wrong time. And I would have loved just the one good farewell, give him more wrestling dates. As he said, he wanted 200, and TKO was like, nah. So
they're dumb for that.
And then them overcharging a lot. Like they were charging $700 for an autograph hat. Like I get it. It's his autograph, but bro, I'm not spending $700 on a hat. I'm sorry.
He follows me on X for free.
Yeah, same with me too.
Yeah, like
I'm trying to get Dangum Cody too, but it's not working. So
oh, you'll get him soon. You'll
trying.
get him soon.
I'm trying.
No, but I agree. I agree with you. I agree. You know,
I will ask
John-
this question.
yeah. Go ahead.
Do you think WWE now has become a WCW 2.0? And here's why I'm thinking it. What did WCW do back in the day when you had Hogan, Macho Man, all that? They signed them. What is the WWE done now? Depending on the legends, the older talent. They're trying to get this man to come back, Chris Jericho. We got some news about that, but this is the trying to get Jericho to come back. They're trying to get they're getting Punk, who's 48. Even Roman, 45, is he? 44? Do you think they're depending too much on the older talent like WCW did back in the day and not building new stars? And you've seen some of these younger talents jump ship, kind of like WCW's young talent jump ship to WWF back in the day?
It's a little different, obviously, not just because of times we're in, and money being involved in all that stuff. But I think when you look at guys like Punk and, you know, a Roman or a Cody or whoever, even a Cena, I just think those guys are really, really still superstars in their own right. Not saying that Hogan and Macho Man and all those guys weren't at that time, especially Hogan. He was, but to me, WWE, I don't know. I feel like the fans, obviously, they've been in WWE for a while. They kind of know these guys, their upbringing, and they're still healthy. They still look clean. They look good. I mean, when you look at WCW, they were relying on a lot of outside older people that really never made a name. I mean, Goldberg never really made a name for himself outside of WCW with wrestling. Sting never really made a name outside for himself. Lex Luger, in my being a little younger who's just researched and watched everything, feels like to me Lex Luger got his big break in WCW. So and not really as much WWE exposure. So I don't know if it's with WCW. They were trying to build those main guys up, and then when they got there, I don't know. Maybe they couldn't keep that spot, like somebody like CM Punk who's been on the top for over 10, 20 years, like a Roman. Like it's tough, obviously because of what times we're in. But I still think the guys we got now, they're in the best of their career. You could say some of these guys are doing the best work. I don't know if you could say that for guys back in WCW, especially in that late 90s, early 2000s period.
Yeah, I agree.
I disagree with that statement because of three letters, NXT. When you have when you
Fair.
provide NXT with all these NIL talents like a Obafemi, like a Braun Breaker, like a Drake Williams, like a Carmelo Hayes, and all that, you have a lot of young talent there. Yes, right now the main event scene is, you could say, uber 40-ish. But again, I hate this because I hate when people do that. But look at the other side, the AEW, when they have Edge, Christian, Bobby Lashley, Sheldon Benjamin, names that Kenny Omega. You go with all these different names. It's the same thing all around in professional wrestling. This has been happening since the territory days. This is nothing new, where you still have the veterans around, like Bob Winkle. You had that with Flair hanging around. It's something that's part of the wrestling evolution cycle that happens over and over. Because what was the story? Wrestlers never knew when to give up, when to retire. They kept wrestling forever. Look, Ricky Morton's still going. The guys are So there's
Sounds really good.
We saw Mike Jackson on TNA, for the pay-per-view over the weekend. 80 years old, 79 years old.
76 hitting
76.
a crossbody or a suicide dive.
Walking the ropes and getting paid and buying Blue Chews and going home and having a happy Valentine's Day. He did his thing. So they don't know when to give up. but right now Jericho looks in tremendous shape. Look at the way he looks for a 51-year-old. CM Punk 55. CM Punk away from the ring for 10 years. You can arguably say he has a better run. I think I enjoy Punk now than when he was, muffin chops. CM Punk. I'm not, so age right now with the way modern medicine and the way people are taking care of their body. These wrestlers still got a lot to give. Look, people don't want AJ Styles to retire. AEW is crowning for AJ Styles to go wrestle there. So I don't know. I don't think it all depends on their mindset, their body, and how much they're willing to endure, and if can they give in this business that is cool. Let's face it, people want name brands. They just don't. They don't want to take a chance of the up and comers. Unfortunately, I hate to say that.
Mm-hmm. Well, like the news here is that Tony Khan has frozen his contract due to his Fozzy tour that he did last year.
That he's on right now,
and that he started probably mid late last year, and still going.
Yeah, he started. They restarted it the 17th.
So he put a freeze on his contract, according to these sources, and due to him to taking the time off in the middle of 2025. So with that, the powers to be, aka Tony Khan, has put a freeze on his contract like he has many others when he knows they're going to jump ship to the WWE, the enemy, the Fed, as they call them. And, that is why he is still under AEW contract and on the active roster. How long is this freeze going to be? I don't know, because they're all speculating him returning at Royal Rumble, the debut of Raw at the beginning of the year. And now the speculation is he is in the box that we saw on Monday Night Raw. So what do y'all think of this freezing contracts that not only AEW does, but WWE does it as well? Look what they did to Andrade. Andrade had to go lawyer and fight out of that. And thankfully he won. They were going to do a 2-year on him. 2 year. They still got Samantha Irvin in the 2 years. She's about to finish it. That's why we haven't seen her except for her music,
right,
because she's actually talked about on some podcasts about training in the ring. So but the reason why is because she's on this freeze, and AEW or WWE fans out there will hate on Tony Khan, but WWE does the same thing, and they're doing it longer.
Tony would be dumb to freeze this man's contract because it's that simple. Why would you burn a bridge with Chris freaking Jericho? I'm not saying that you're gonna leave. Obviously, you want to leave the door open for him to come back, but he's such a legend, and he's done so much. I mean, he's the first ever. Listen, he's the first, not just the first ever AEW champion. If Chris Jericho, in my opinion, does not sign with AEW, they don't land on Warner Brothers. He is the biggest part of that upbringing, besides Cody, the main core. He is the biggest part of that. So for Tony to, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying whoever these sources are wrong, but I find it a little hard to wrap my head around that Tony would. And again, I can't. Not that I can't find it hard, because it's no surprise that if this is true, that this would happen. Because, like you mentioned, it's been happening all around professional wrestling. But with Chris Jericho, he's done so much for your company already. I don't know what else he could do for AEW. Why not just let him go back to WWE and do his farewell? What the AEW fans don't want him. Majority of them, Aaron, you know that, right? Like you at the shows,
giving him the Cody treatment.
Exactly, right. He's getting the Cody treatment that Cody got when he got pushed out of AEW.
Is Copeland and Christian getting it next?
So exactly.
So Shelton Benjamin.
So what's the point of Chris Jericho still being
former
there?
WWE guys.
Like, come on. What's the point of him being still there? He's done everything he could. The learning tree doesn't work. He found some stuff that worked, found some stuff that didn't. Just let him go. Just like, it's a thing about professional wrestling that's been petty all around. But it's don't do that to Chris Jericho. If you're gonna do that to anybody, he's the one person not to do it.
Now Jericho's contract was expiring. Am I correct? Before he added more time.
Supposedly, according to the same sources that released, his contract expiring in December.
Right, but he didn't get fired, right?
No.
I don't think so. I think it was like
Andrade got fired, right?
Andrade, he was in WWE. Well, which time are you talking?
No,
the last one.
last time he
The
got
last
fired
time he
for
got
wellness policy.
fired for wellness policy. Supposedly, I guess he didn't read the full contract or something, or he said screw it. He wasn't supposed to show up anywhere within the 90 days like they normally do. And if you do so, according to these sources, the penalty is the 2-year mark. Now, Samantha Irvin didn't do any of that, and they hit her with that.
Samantha didn't quit either. She interrupted, stopped.
No, her contract
with a contract.
She was under her contract.
Those are two different things. Jericho's contract is expiring. It's going to be done. He asked permission to do it. They know that he does it because Tony Khan doesn't get mad when all the AEW wrestlers go on his cruise to promote it.
True.
So
but if it's in the contract that Tony Khan weaseled in there, then
that I have no problem with that. But they're two different things when it comes to Andrade firing for wellness issues and Samantha abruptly quit.
Well, there's also the
I think the comparison that you guys are trying to find is that it's
Ray Phoenix.
Right. I think the comparison that you guys are trying to, it's at least to me, it's that the point that Aaron, I think what you're trying to say is that the fact that they still hold,
yes,
like we still see it either way, like that is a problem. I kind of understand, because if somebody like Andrade who gets fired for a wellness policy, why not let him go on AEW? If you're gonna let him go, if he violated one of your rules, why not let him go? I kind of see where it could be the same, because same thing with Jericho. His contract's expired. There's nothing left for him to do. Why not let him go? That's why I feel like it's a problem in professional wrestling. It's the same. It's the same kind of thing.
Money.
But here's the thing that pisses me off with the whole wrestling thing. They're considered independent contractors. So why can they go
that's a good point.
Like an independent contractor and go wrestle where they feel? Then oh my God, all of a sudden you're holding guys for 2 years, or you can't be on TV. Why not? If they're an independent contractor that needs the business to work, to feed their families, you're not feeding them, or I don't see why you're prohibiting them from working. Like, Dr. Big Baker should be wrestling regardless of where she wrestles. Different other talent. If even Apollo Crew, if he's not wrestling and he wants to wrestle, if he wants to leave and not be the catering king, he could go wrestle somewhere else. It's just I don't.
The independent contractor thing is just a scam, so WWE don't got to pay any of them health insurance or any insurances
I agree with
like that. Like that's all the independent contractor status is, and it's unfortunate. But they look at it like, okay, like if I'm paying Apollo Crews and he goes to TNA and he gets hurt, like it gets a situation just by financial and medical costs and insurance. Like that's the part I think that the business behind the scenes part that I think that wrestling companies are trying to avoid with them being independent contractors. And it's unfortunate, it's unfair, but again, I think it just that's the general thing behind it. And it sucks.
That's where Brody King should be fighting those type of issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Punk was doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
And now
look how he ended up leaving for 10 years, because he could taken care of the politics and the bullshit that came along with that.
Right.
Even Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah, I was just going to bring him up too. Yeah.
Yep. Jesse Ventura. He was another one fighting for all that. And then Hogan, brother.
But when you hear John Cena talk about better pay, better facilities, better medical treatment, they're evolving, but they're not there yet. Wrestling still has a long way to go.
Long way
from where they're doing. They don't have to unionize, but they have to do something better with the lettering of their contracts.
These men and women are putting their bodies on the line. At any moment, they could get a career-ending injury. I mean, look at Big E.
Megan Bain almost got injured this weekend.
Oh my gosh, that was my goodness, I was worried when that happened. Cal Fletcher, when he was facing Moxley.
Him too.
Him
and Hangman, Adam Cole, he's part of the reason why Adam Cole's not wrestling right now, because of that spot that happened on Dynamite outside of the ring. And
then when Rollins did his deal to Sting, and put Sting out for a while, and you had, so many injuries that happen, and any moment it could be career ending, and you're done. and that's it. That's a wrap. And you got
Look how Cena walks. Look how Cena walks, guy getting out of a freaking vehicle, bro.
Yeah, many of them.
It looks like just watching him.
Michaels is another one.
Michaels, he's bow-legged, by Christ's sakes. You see him in the performance center. It looked like he's been riding a freaking bull for his whole entire career.
Exactly. Like, he looks like he's bull riding compared to wrestling. But who was it? I think it was it Arn or Brett? It's because of some of the dangerous stuff that they do a lot of times. And although a lot of it is impressive, but at the end, like Darby Allin, how long are we going to see him wrestle? 10 years? That's some of the stuff he does. Like, I'm wondering when is it going to be his last? You know, that's going to be the career-ending injury or the injury that puts him out for a long time because he is doing all these, dangerous stunts. And I mean, Jeff Hardy. Look at Jeff Hardy. He's now having to stop using the Swanton Bomb now. He's starting to figure out new finishers. He said a submission hold and stuff. Why? Because a lot of the stuff that granted, they gave us a lot of memories and moments, but at the end, like, I'm trying to remember which wrestler talked about it, where, back in the day, they didn't do a lot of that stuff. That's why a lot of them lasted longer, is because they didn't do a lot of the stuff they're doing now to where, although it is impressive, Legend even said this, it is impressive, but at the end, it takes a toll on your career and you don't get to wrestle as long.
That's why I cringe when we see the Canadian Destroyer spots for like 3 in a row. Pop, 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 pop. You're landing on your fucking head, man. 4 times in a row, and then you're gonna jump up and no sell. I'm like, that's pure adrenaline because you're doing the spot over and over and over. But I guarantee that night you're gonna be with some neck issues, stiff neck, headaches, and all that. It's like, that's a dangerous move.
That's another thing. Back in the day, because I was watching some old school Junkyard Dog matches and Mid-South Wrestling the other day, and the selling, man, like, then when they did a gut punch, like, it was so like they just got punched in the gut, they fall to their knees or they're gasping for air. There was no coming back. It was then there was the selling that I see back in the day compared to now. Like when you see, like you just said, like super kick, my gosh.
Oh, that's fast.
Especially the young.
That's another one.
Like I loved it when Shawn Michaels, sweet chin music, boom, done, out, sayonara, unless it was Undertaker. That's all she wrote. Now, Young Bucks hit like 40 super kicks in a match, and the wrestler gets back up and he hits one back, and it's like, and then Young Bucks ain't the only one. The Usos.
Aaron, we had a guy on our channel on a watch along. He was the official super kick counter per match, and my goodness, that was his own.
They'd be like 40 a night.
Yeah.
When it came to Monday Night Raw, and half of them were Usos match. If we got a Jay or Jimmy Uso match, that super count was just going up.
I mean, Penta does it.
Everybody does it.
Everybody does.
Even the DDT is bastard.
Except for
the DDT was the one move that you was like, no, you weren't getting.
You know what's another move? The cutter.
Oh, I'm starting to hate that move now.
I mean, Javon Evans has done impressive.
Javon Evans, Cody, Will Ospreay, BDE.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Javon, yeah. Oh.
Back in the day, you used to get an atomic drop, and that son of a bitch had a hemorrhoids for like 6 minutes in the ring, or in pain, excruciating pain. That's how they used to sell it.
I mean, heck, back in the day, it'd be a simple power driver, and the match is over. Now you got to build up.
Paul Orndorff lived off of a power driver.
Now you know when the match is going to end because they're going to build up. I don't know, unless the Cena and Cody match, they had 10 AAs and 10 Cody crossroads. But back in the day, like simple power driver or a DDT, running bulldog. That was it. There was no building up for the finishing move. There wasn't no, any of that. And I was listening to Dutch Mantel's podcast. He was talking about nowadays you pretty much know when it's about to end. Back then, you didn't. So especially when the match is at the end of the show, like, oh, well, we're coming on 9 o'clock now, or 10 o'clock for SmackDown. Yes. We're about to end this match. We're about to see so-and-so win or so-and-so lose. And that's it. And then now, back in the day, you did. It would just end unexpectedly. Power driver. Boom. What? That was it? It was 5 minutes. But, hey, it was still a good match. Even though it was 5 minutes. It was just simple wrestling, grappling, punching, kicking. Nothing over the top, no flashy production, nothing like that. You know, that's one thing. Like to me, the production today is over. That's one thing I love about NWA is it's not really a lot of the big screens and like used to. You got stage setups. I mean, one of my favorite stage setup is the one that Backlash won, 01, when it had the swinging, hooks or whatever. That was awesome. And now, like, it's just a big screen with the graphic. That's it.
Yeah.
And then, my gosh, WWE went over the top of SummerSlam last year. That screen was freaking gigantic. You can see that all the way, down the street. Like.
But that's the evolution with technology because now 4K, not 4K, 8K cameras, 4K cameras, the sound, the pickup. I've complained about this so many times. AI, but the point is where you see you're so high depth and so clarity. You see when the referee's getting instructions when he's holding the side, when you hear the walkie-talkie, you literally can hear the conversation pretty much soon from Gorilla into the referee. Wrap it up. Oh yeah, tell him to sell more. I mean, Unreal has hurt the product to an nth degree because you're like, oh well, they're getting instructions. Oh, here comes the referee. We're in a commercial break. You got 40 seconds left. I can't because I do stream it on the international feed when we do our watch ones because we get to show it on Rumble and we get to show it on Rumble and on other programs on Kick. So we get to watch it with us. So I point that out. Oh, they're coming back from the commercial break because we also see the timer when the commercials is ending. But then you see the referee grabbing his side, and then he's gonna go tell instruction. One thing that kills me too with the product, as soon as a wrestling move is done, the referee's already grabbing and can we let the guy breathe? I understand we want the safety of the wrestler. Granted, we want the wrestler to be safe. We wanted to make sure he's not hurt. But the minute any move, the referee's sliding in to grab and check if he's okay, and you have to see the wrestlers. I'm fine. You're killing the magic. You're killing the magic of watching. Mm-hmm. It's bad enough we want to get escape, and now we have to deal with politics, with ice, and this, that, and then you're killing the magic too. I mean, what's going on with wrestling?
I mean, you got to check on Darby Allin every 5 seconds. What he does, it's like, did he die? Is he okay? Okay, he's moving. Cool. All right, Darby, he's cool. Like. And I'm not disrespecting. I love Darby. He's really he's cool and everything. I am a fan.
I love Darby.
But what the stuff that he does, like it.
Somebody on this panel does not like Darby Allin.
No, he's a pendejo.
I know that. I was waiting for it.
He's a big pendejo. That's what he is.
I'm just like, but it's just like some of the stuff, like that one spot a few weeks ago, Dynamite, where it was a suplex and his back window steel steps. I was like, that makes
it's crazy.
Man. The opening contest with
Claudio, was it?
Was it Claudio? Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, Claudio.
Yeah.
And then look, and here's another thing. One thing. Why is AEW promoting kidnapping?
Oh yeah, when they kidnapped Darby in the middle of the street. I saw that and I was like, oh my.
Now I know some of the stuff they do.
They want to be in the news. They want to be with Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, but it's like you literally drug him, and if you drug somebody at that speed in a bike, they're dead. There's no surviving that. They're not coming back. So that was unrealistic.
He needs to stop doing those stunts and go after the AEW World Championship already.
It's just some of the stuff. Like I'm a fan of AEW, but some of the stuff that they do, and I'm just like, why did you have to do that? Why was the reasoning that you had to drag Darby Allin in the middle of the desert, and all of a sudden he comes back the next week on Dynamite? Like, what did he get a bus, a truck? Did a bus come by down the desert just strolling along, or an 18-wheeler? Like, hey, dude, what happened to you? Yeah. Oh yeah, I got drugged.
They didn't explain that.
No, just get me back to the town. Just get me back.
It was Pac.
It was Pac. Okay. Pac said, "I'll come get you."
It was Pac. It was that match with Pac on the stairs. Yeah, you're right. Thank you so much to the chat. By the way, can we say something real quick, Aaron? I know it's your show. Can we hit the like button? Because Aaron has hosted us here for 2 hours. If you're in the chat and you're watching, you haven't hit the like button, please hit Aaron Loves Wrestling. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you haven't shared, share it. Because that's how it, for us as content creators, that's how you're telling us you enjoy the show. Just as simple, like it's totally free. It doesn't cost nothing. If you want to throw a super chat for Aaron, I'm pretty sure he could use the financial help. Hit the super chat, man. Hit him with a super chat. Thank you. We appreciate what you're doing. We appreciate you talking about wrestling, bringing on others. Give him a super chat, man. $2.99, $5.99, whatever. Anything helps. Or the free like mine. I don't know why people are so scared to give a free like mine, bro.
Yeah. I appreciate all the comments. Appreciate it. And I appreciate y'all for that. This has been a really fun episode. And real quick, before we go, I want to talk about this man, Royce Keys. He was on this What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon. And there was at some points he talked about his family, and it almost had me in tears. But to see him get put on this, and then the treatment that he's getting right now, and I think he's going to be a future world champion. If he's not, then this was a big fumble. But I'm just loving I'm not a huge fan of the name. I know he chose it because of family reasons, and that's fine. But I still love the Powerhouse Hobbs, But the name will grow on me just like some others have. And then the theme, I like the theme, even though it's Death Rebel. But I love the theme. The theme is really cool. But he fits WWE. And I'm not saying he didn't fit AEW, but with him getting put in the trios and the factions and tag teams, it's like, you got a legit star right here. And I don't see why they're doing that with him and Wardlow. Wardlow's another one. And when you have these big guys where they can go, and some of the stuff him and Wardlow has done in the ring over there, where big guys, like, how in the heck do you do that? And to see them just get stuck in factions and trios and all this, like, you're hurting, and then it makes them like, is this it? Is this all I got here? Is this all they're going to offer me? Am I going to get more than this? They were like, oh, he was a TNT champion. Yeah, back in 21 or 22? When was that?
Right.
And then since then, he's been stuck in a tag team or a faction instead of being put in. And then they held the trios titles, and trios championships to me are just get rid of them. There's not a trios division. They're just throwing random people together, trying to keep them alive. Get rid of the trios. Focus on the tag team because they have a great tag team division, in my opinion. Focus on the tag team. Ditch the trios titles. You don't need them. There's no need for them.
Soraya's not there no more.
Right. So it's like, get rid of them. So this man, I'm glad he's in WWE. I'm glad he's getting the treatment that he is, and I think he's going to get pushed to the moon. And I can just see him and Obafemi right now having a main event for the world title at WrestleMania. Them two throwing it down for the world title. I can just see it. And if it don't happen, the Triple H, I got some choice words for you. I got 2 words for you.
I already got the sponsor for that match, Arby's.
Hey. I got.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for ya.
So, yeah. Triple H, if you fumble this man, we're going to have an issue. Okay? Might actually pay him to go beat you up.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree.
What do y'all stop?
Yeah, I agree. Before I get into the actual interview, I think you nailed it on the head, because when it comes to WWE, Royce Keys is somebody that those are the type of guys that they want. Those big, buffy, Braun Breakers and Wardlows. And so this fits WWE's alley. I think they're going to do stuff with him. Right. So in Oba, like, there's so many things that they're going to do with him. I think people are kind of worked up because we saw him on Main Event last night. They did it with Penta. They did it with all the people coming in. They just want to see how you work in front of a crowd without it being really so important. So he's going to be fine. But I like this interview, and I don't listen to much of the WWE affiliated fanatics interviews when it comes to like stuff like this, like AJ Styles' because to me, WWE does that to control the narrative. Like, obviously, we're not going to hear anything about what really made you to come here. Like, they're not going to do that. They're going to do it the WWE way.
Tell us how you really feel about Tony Khan.
Yeah, no, right. Like, you're not going to get anything like a Chris Van Fleet.
Safe space.
Or busted open. Right. It's a safe space, right? It's all just a safe space down there in that WWE HQ. But no, this was good in terms of I like Lee's interviews in terms of not getting my information or whatever, like a headline. you get to hear a little bit about the personal side that maybe you don't hear much. Like Stephanie's really good, and I think people trust Stephanie obviously because of who she is to kind of tell their stories out. So I like the concept of that. We get to hear a little more personal side of Royce Keys, and it's good for the newer WWE audience that might not know him from AEW. To who's this guy? Let me, because people like to root for people, especially if they know their personal upbringing. That's why me and Kev here are such Uber Mike Santana fans. It's because we know that personal upbringing. That's why we ride for him even more, just as being as fans of him and his work and his profession. So that's good. I liked it. And I also like the way he debuted. You got the Royce Keys, and then they told us who he was and who he now is in that debut, which is rare for a debut to turn out that good. So we got some time. Let's see how it plays out with him. But he has a promising future for sure.
He does. First and foremost, can they change the name of the podcast? What's your story, pal? Can we add the pal? It is McMahon. Yeah, they put the pal on that.
Yeah.
What's your story, pal? I want to hear Stephanie put her dad voice and say that when she's.
They're trying to shy away from him right now. So.
No, but the pal, just the pal. I mean, come on. I would like to take that name. What's your story, pal?
What's your story, pal?
Yeah, I like that. But my point, listen, let me be serious. I just wanted to throw a little joke here. Royce Key, he's letting us into his world. The AEW tried it. I don't know why they didn't go with the Book of Hobbs more. That's one thing that was really compelling. They were trying to tell a story with the Books of Hobbs, which was really good. I wish they would have kept that going with that. And to Chris's point about the WWE podcast, I think they're shitting on us. They don't want people they're going to take viewers away from us from a fan's perspective of speaking about how we don't like the product. And they want to do these, Cody and now this one and McMahon's podcast, Undertaker, so people could take away from us and take away from the JDs from New York and the Aaron Loves Wrestling, the Sports Jedi Network, and the Wrestle Soups, not listen to them because they're not fully on board. They're gonna say they didn't like our product. They're gonna crap on it. They're gonna persuade negativity. So let's control the narrative, like Chris says. Let's do all these great podcasts, honky dory. To tell us your story, pal. Last ride, whatever. I hate that. I don't. It's good to hear from them because they are gonna get big names. That's why I like listening to Van Fleet. I like to listen to the when they get certain wrestlers on. That's why we try to be
Hawani,
big time with
he's another good one.
Ariel Hawani. He asked a tough question. He had Mike Santana.
Oh yeah, he has some good tough ones, especially when Tony Khan the second go around.
The second go around, that's the type of journalism and that type of interviews I enjoy.
Yeah,
that real nonstop stuff. That's why we try to inspire.
He asked the Hardys about, hey, is TNA really trying to go for that number 2 spot?
That's the work, yeah.
Like, is TNA really being used by WWE to go after AEW?
No, that's great. That's what if we were in that shoes and we had that liberty. Mm-hmm. Because let's face it, sometimes when we get to interview some of these, we're only limited to a certain amount of questions.
Yeah,
we can't ask, but you say this game, and when you get the talent, you don't because we got to be respectful.
Yeah,
if we want to, and we're trying to come up and coming. Mm-hmm. Second, we want to be able to get these folks back on us and trust us and show them a lot. This is the first time I'm going to speak to someone. First impression, I got to show respect, mm-hmm. and I got to show that I respect them and want them to return. So I understand it's a tough business when you're trying to interview and so forth, but who's going to not want to answer a Stephanie McMahon question? She's the boss's wife. You're going to ask the question.
How do you feel about Triple H?
Yeah, I mean, you heard Royce Keys. You heard Royce Keys said, "Can I go downstairs to work out?" And Triple H kind of didn't know how to say no and said no, but Triple H got him a bench and some elastic bands to work out to make him feel comfortable.
Well, I like that side though, like him not just like, no, you can't, blah 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 blah. It's like, well, let's make it work.
The old regime would have like, no, pal, you'll stay in your room and you'll do push-ups, pal.
Yeah, do push-ups like I did back in the day. I didn't even have a gym. I had to walk to school in the snow, pal.
Well, I'll send you the steak so you can eat it raw.
Yeah, pal.
You're gonna like it, and you're gonna eat the corn the long way.
Well, like I had Brian Idol, the NWA TV champion. I interviewed him in December, and that was a good one. And I asked him about the the newly controversial AEW National Heavyweight Championship. Because
What did he say?
NWA,
Yeah.
I mean, he's been very vocal on social media about it,
Uh-huh.
about how, basically they ripped it off, and I agree. Like, I mean, and then there's the, like, is it like the United States title? Like, IW New Japan had it, but WWE. This is the source. I don't know how true it is, but the reason why they had to get rid of the Intercontinental in the United States because WWE like filed trademark. And they're like, you can't do it no more. But yeah, they said that he said that it was they kind of basically took it from us. And Mike Mondoe was vocal. Like, yeah, I love what he was doing. I'm the real national heavyweight champion. And I'm like, yeah, that was the NWA thing. And because of Tony Khan couldn't use Shockwave because they had Shockwave first and trademarked it, and they even had a shirt still on the website. So it's like I like how he was able to answer that question and and voice his opinion, and like again, safe space. How do you really feel about it? If he didn't want to answer it, cool, that's fine. Next question. We'll go to the next one.
Right, but that international title is international. It's intellectual property of NWA, but I don't know if Billy Corgan filed or not, and it's a whole thing.
Well, Tony said on Ariel Hawani that him and Billy Corgan talked.
Okay,
so I don't know if that's what he said, right?
Said a lot of things.
Exactly. So no, to my knowledge,
have we heard Billy Corgan come out and say they talked?
never heard. Right. We never heard it from Billy Corgan, and Busted Open never put him on no more. See? Like we used to have Billy Corgan on all the time.
Yeah. No, you guys make good points. I agree.
Just saying.
I agree.
One side saying, yeah, we're cool. The other side.
Go to the horse's mouth. Go to both horses' mouth, and that's how you end a room. You go to one room A, the B. You ask him. You ask them. You have them both in the same place where they can have a confrontation or a look at, and then you come to a conclusion. There's always there's three sides to a story: his story, her story, and the truth. Where are we gonna get? Somewhere down. Got to find out what the truth is. Whose title is it?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I like the way the NWA's national heavyweight champion. It's that old school United States title look. I don't mind AEW, but AEW's looks like Bryan Idol's NWA's TV championship.
Exactly like that.
Yeah, exactly like it. And they just slapped an AEW logo on it and national heavyweight championship. So it's like,
I mean, imitation is the best form of flattery.
Maybe.
But it kind of got, it's kind of blown over now. We haven't heard anything about it lately, but I think the AEW's version is, just a participation trophy for Ricochet. Like, I mean, he hasn't hardly defended the title.
Make him feel important.
In that case, they should have named it a digital media title because that's all he is, the champion of digital media.
Or the AEW TV title. What's wrong with that?
That's your TBS title.
Yeah, and TNT. True that.
I just don't see why they needed to have it at all, considering the fact that you have a continental champion and what was the Mid Atlantic? What did they change the Mid?
All Atlantic.
No, it was the Mid Atlantic. Which
Go.
got moved to the Undisputed when they reunited both of them. Then they have a title problem. So they should
honestly both do. If you look at WWE,
they both do. They both do. It's a problem throughout the professional wrestling, in my opinion. But they have a title problem down there for sure, and they're the most, in my opinion, the most clear that they have a title issue because there's so many. You could have had Ricochet in the TNT title picture with Kyle Fletcher, and rather than making a whole new title for him, or have him win the Continental Classic. Exactly. You didn't have to go out there and make a whole new championship just to make Ricochet feel important to the company. That's all it is.
Honestly, they can get rid of the national heavyweight and trios titles right now. They'll be just fine.
They'll probably be better off. Yes. Get rid of the trios championship. Yeah. Get rid of one of those unified titles.
I'm sorry, Jet Speed Rodeo not working.
No, they're Horsecock. They changed the name to Horsecock.
Either way, it is.
And
not
Aaron,
working.
we know that they are only the tag team champions, the trios tag team champions, because Powerhouse Hobbs was out the door the next day.
Yeah.
So that they don't need it. They did it because Penta, Ray Phoenix, and Pac versus Death
Yeah, but you
Triangle
could have given it to
versus
the man
Young
though,
Bucks.
already. You could have the man face the house for him and had
But
the
it
man
water,
win the
but here's the problem with it. It waters it down. They have the trios, but then you want Jesse wants to go over the tag team titles, and not with no Hangman going to the world title picture. If you have them in the trios, why are you going after individual titles? I have the same problem with the women's tag team division in WWE. If you have women's tag team champions, why have two of them in the elimination chamber?
You didn't have that back in the Territory days.
You didn't even have that with Vince McMahon.
You didn't have that with Vince.
That
Vince
either.
either.
You're a tag team. You're a tag team.
You're a tag team. You ain't
you
gonna
didn't
wrestle
see
single.
Paul London go after the United
No,
States title.
you saw Paul London's career end after him and Kendrick were done as a tag team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's in MLW right now, but
Oh, is he? Oh,
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him.
he don't move as good as he used to. But
Yeah, I know, right?
like he used to fly right there, and now
Aye.
it's just weird. But yeah, him and Kendrick both, they didn't go for singles titles, so they're a tag team. They went for tag team titles. They were in tag team. They went up against other tag teams, and that was it. And that's how it should be. And that's
It's
why
not
that's
like-
one way. That's one thing I love that NWA is doing. Power is because they're doing that. They're sticking to those traditions. I mean, they're having the Crockett Cup coming up soon, which is going to be in Dallas. I'm going to try to go. I'm out there. I'm going to try to go. And they have Crockett Cup, which was famous for tag team wrestling, and they're keeping those traditions alive. And that's why I like tuning in every week and all the other territories when they show on YouTube and watch their shows, because I mean they got some good stuff. Yeah, they're in a gym, old school gym, but hey, that's how it used to be. So, and they got some great talent, and they're the Exodus Pro champion. Richard Holiday was in attendance for NXT this past Tuesday,
Yeah, he was in the
Mm.
tryout. He was in the
and
tryout.
Nikki
Nikki
Blackheart,
Blackheart, Valentina Rossi. They were all-
Valentina
yeah.
Rossi, yeah. So, and I honestly wouldn't mind NWA being partnered with WWE. I think
They kind of have like not a real partnership, because they allowed Natalia to wrestle the Crockett Cup last year.
right. It's
so
not like
forth.
a real, but I'm talking about like a real one, like
Yeah.
we do TNA, and they can help NWA get like on a good television. And I mean, Roku ain't bad if it's free. You can look it up anywhere.
So since you watch NWA, weren't they supposed to go on the CW originally before NXT or so? Weren't there rumors of them
I
going
think
to the
there's the
CW?
rumors. I think there was the
But-
rumors,
And then they did
but,
that spot where James Mitchell snorted a line on TV and they kind of screwed it up.
I think that was the
Halloween.
rumor, yes, and then that was out there. Thankfully, they haven't done something like that again. But
Right. That was
honestly, I kind of that I think that was it. They were going to the CW. It's like
they were going to the
you know,
CW and James Mitchell did that stupid thing
And they
caused it.
they could rebound from it, and they
They have rebounded from it and they can. First off, is James Mitchell still in NWA?
He hasn't been shown as much, but he was the manager of that dark team that they had. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
See, I only really know that Spencer Slade guy because he's
awesome.
he's from my home. He's from my area. He's here in central Pennsylvania. He's from Pittsburgh. So
he's a world junior heavyweight champion right now. He just won it
No,
from
he's doing great
Alex
stuff. I
Taylor.
saw him. He is people live in town right here. He's a good. He's great.
And I
He's
love there that they have good long like there's no hot potato with the titles. Like Alex Taylor held that world junior heavyweight championship for like almost 2 years. Kenzie Page held the Burke, the NWA women's title for all over 2 years. And Thomas Latimer held the 10 pounds of gold for over 2 years. And now Silas Mason has. I mean, I like how they have legitimate, long titles. And they have with the territories, they kind of brought that back with the promotions that they got. And they have their own heavyweight championships and stuff. And the heavyweight champion will go against the world champion when he comes to town and stuff. Like they kind of bring back that old school feel, and that's one thing I love about it is the old school feel with the modern twist to it.
They need to do a little more interviewing, because we have reached out to the NWA, especially Tiffany Nieves, a fellow Boricua. We've been asking her to come on, and she's like, I don't do many interviews unless if you come in person. Well, that's why no one's really gonna know you much, because we trying to talk. We want to hear your story, Mama. We want to know about you. We want to know about your Boricua heritage. But she's like, I don't do interviews unless you come in person.
Yeah, I got Brian Idol. I've been trying to
That's
get.
not bueno. That's not bueno bonito.
No, I got Brian Idol. I've been trying to reach out to Mike Mundo and Silas Mason as well, and see if they'll come on. And heck, I'll buy a shirt. Shoot, I'll buy a ticket, whatever you want. You know.
And they're in Tampa. They're a hop skip away from here.
Yeah.
Tampa's for me is only it's only what 45 to an hour hop skip away.
Nice. Yeah.
They get a day, like to try to come on over. We want to give you a platform to talk about people to know you and amplify your voice.
Yeah.
They seem like they're too busy.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm trying to do is get with them because I want to put them on that. And that's why I've been doing the reviews. I want to put them out there like that because, like, hey, check NWA out. If you like TNA and you're getting tired of WWE and maybe even some AEW, go check out these other shows. Like even MLW, they got some. Good stuff.
Was it 2 years ago? They did the 50-year anniversary, I believe. Was it?
Yep.
And I covered it. I did the review and I watched it and I did the review and but it just don't have enough time. It's just I want to do NWA. I would love that. I always said this. NWA is one that I would love to get into. OVW. But I love OVW with Al Snow's doing up there. My goodness, they're doing some good stuff. I just don't have the time. I don't have the freaking time.
You just don't love wrestling. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I gotta love my wife first.
True. This is true. I love my wife. I love my wife.
I'm not taking no shots taken. No shots taken. Don't misinterpret what I don't misinterpret.
No. Yeah. No, I get these reviews because I'm on Graveyard, so it's a lot easier when they go to bed. Okay, I'll get my recordings in, or I might go live for one and get the recordings later and have them air later. So that's the beauty right now. When I go to days, it'll get kind of tight because I'll spend time with them and I have to go to bed early because I got to get up early, things like that.
Summer now coming up. I mean, that's something that we were talking about. Now that the summer's coming, they need to start heating up these storylines for all companies because good luck trying to keep people in 3 hours for Fridays and you're putting out. I can see Mondays a little bit because people are recovering from the long weekend.
Vacation time.
But vacation time, you got to keep people
Disney
invested,
World.
man. Yeah,
Orlando Studio, Six Flags, everybody traveling.
But if you're coming down to my city to those theme parks, we do drive. Speed limit is 70. We do drive 75. We don't need you coming here lingering at 45 on the highways and making us and getting in my way, please. That's a service announcement for all you tourists that coming to Orlando, Florida.
You heard it here.
We drive 75. We could go. There's allowed. Cops let us go 5 to 6 over the miles. And we go 75.
We do here too.
But we don't need you coming here with your lingering 45-year-old or 45 miles per hour in the rental Toyotas. Please get out of the road.
Where am I at?
That's right.
So they want to stop and take pictures and shit of where they're
look at the building. Get the hell out of the way. I want to go home. I got to get on a live stream. I got PGA Chris waiting for me in Pittsburgh over there in Hershey. We got to do a live stream. We got an interview set up at 3
that's
o'clock.
funny.
I got to get home.
How's the traffic in Pittsburgh, Chris? Is it crazy?
In Hershey. He's in Hershey.
In Pittsburgh is awful. Especially when you're any bridge, especially the Clemente, it is awful. Once you get once you get outside a little bit, it's okay. But like when you're right there where University of Pitt, the big UMPC, everything, it is crazy. Hershey, I mean, even in a small mid-city, Hershey still crazy. But Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's ridiculous. Pittsburgh is ridiculous when it comes to traffic, especially at this time.
Stay out of the highways if you're going in Hershey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, I gotta wrap it up because
I gotta get ready for my SmackDown watch.
Hey, and then there you go. I got SmackDown. I'll come in the chats for sure, and like I did last night. So let's wrap it up again. Tell them where they can follow and subscribe. Again, we'll hook up again for the next one, definitely next week, and let them know where to find y'all. What y'all got going on over there in the galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, Chris, I'll let you go first.
Nothing. Follow me at PJ's Chris. I'm over at the Sports Jedi Network with Kev. That's the easiest way you can find me, with Kev, Sports Jedi Network. And if you're sports, PJ's Chris TV. But I'm mainly with Kev at the Sports Jedi Network, so that's where you can find me. Yeah,
like he said, our channel Sports Jedi Network on YouTube, close to 20,000 subscribers. We're on the Rumble app, getting close to 1,000 there. And follow us on X. We'd like to grow this community. We want to continue to collaborate and all. Of course, now we mentioned to collaborate now with Wrestle Soups and Friendos. We do our audio podcast there. We have our own as well, and our own audio podcast as well. We do a lot of TNA interviews, a lot of independent wrestling from the circus scene. We interview a lot of the talents all across from the independent scene as well. We have our credentials at WWE, but we haven't been able to get into WWE talents on to join us to conversate yet. We're working on those. I do go a lot to NXT. I live in Orlando, so I do go to the Performance Center a lot and so forth. We just love wrestling. We cover MMA. My son, of course, with the UFC, as well as all, of course, basketball, football. Chris with the football, Pittsburgh as well. We got Chef Dan with the Giants. Me, I took a year off from the Jets and the Yankees and the Rangers and the New York football, the sports, major sports this year, but hopefully in the spring, coming back on and get that, because that's why I named myself Sports Jedi Network. Why not a wrestling channel name? Because I want to be a network of sports, and I want to cover, and that was my umbrella on there. And we have different, we got the Latinos in wrestling. We do weekly wrestling. Each week we go through the week of wrestling, me and Chris. We talk everything about the professional wrestling world. We try to get in there and all. And then Chris is doing Wednesdays Dynamite reviews right after that. I mean, I would love to do more reviews as soon as the shows go live off the air, but it's just my work schedule right now. It's not allowing me to, but we'll get them in there, and we'll just continue to grow. We always want to bring in more pundits on to the network. We want to bring in pundits. If we have a couple ladies, but life and stuff. We want to hear the female voices as well. We want to hear their thoughts, not silence them. Ladies have a lot of voices there. We want to be part of that. We want to be able to hear them amplify, and not for their wrestling takes and their wrestling knowledge, not by their looks. If it makes sense. But I appreciate it. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. It was great.
Appreciate you coming on. It was really fun. Again, doors always welcome for y'all to hyperspace over here and hyperdrive over here. And
same here, man.
Do it again for another Unfiltered Wrestling, or talk about whatever. We'll do the sports ones. I'm getting in the Rangers this year, and I got into the Cowboys and Jags a little bit last year, but definitely gonna get into the Rangers, and I'll try to pick up the Mavs maybe later, but they're just disappointing me right now. It hasn't been the same since Luka left. I'm sorry. Cooper Flag's great, but it hasn't been the same since Luka left. That was my boy. They just ripped my heart out, threw it on the ground and stomped on it, and elbow dropped it and lit it on fire like Kane and buried it in a casket. So
I want to say this. Thank you for Jalen Brunson.
Shout out to my guy D-Book.
Hey, shout out.
All right.
Rhea's replacing Io tonight. Oh, I wonder what happened there.
I was looking forward for Julia versus Io Sky too. That was one of the reasons why I was doing it. I was going to take the night off, but that match intrigued me to get in there. Once they pull me out, every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Well, we know who's winning the match tonight now.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
Well, I'm gonna run. Thank you so much.
See you. Thank you for having us. We'll see you soon, brother.
Have a good one, y'all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Unfiltered Wrestling, and I am Dr. Love himself, A.A. Ron. Go get yourself some Woo Energy. Use promo code Dr. Love, that's DRLOVE, and get Woo Energy. You can have that world champion Ric Flair energy throughout your day. Get yourself some Woo Energy. It is great. I recommend it. Great flavor. Strawberry banana is my favorite. But here's dragon fruit. They got lemon. They got the pineapple berry, strawberry banana, dragon fruit. Those are the flavors. Get the variety pack to try them all out. See which one's your favorite. Again, use Dr. Love, DRLOVE, and get yourself some Woo Energy today. Again, this is Dr. Love. Aaron loves wrestling. This is Unfiltered Wrestling. And as Kenny Omega always says,
Goodbye, mwah, and good night, bang.
all right, y'all have a blessed weekend. Enjoy wrestling. SmackDown's tonight. Collision on tomorrow. AAA on tomorrow. Let's have some fun. Love professional wrestling. Have a blessed weekend. Have good night.
From the first bell to the last stand. This This is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love, and this is Aaron Love's Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rhodes to Bright Marquee. Wrestling is in my blood, there's no hate in me. Hear the roar when the music hits, goosebumps when the champion appears. Every style, every fight, every ring, one love for the business. I am here to bring the love and the passion in every review. Aaron loves wrestling. AEW, WWE, NWA, New Japan, TNA. It doesn't matter about the brand, I love it all. Aaron loves wrestling. My heart is in the ring. No walls, no wars, just the passion for the business that I bring. Aaron loves wrestling. One world, one voice, taking us higher. AEW, Monday Night Raw to Friday Night SmackDown, Saturday Night Main Event under the neon lights. And NXT has the rising stars. The future is looking pretty bright. Dreams get built in every fight. From Wednesday Night Dynamite to Saturday Night Collision, New Japan battles, hearts on fire. From the Tokyo Dome to Arena, Mexico, in every zone, every style's a kingdom, every ring is a throne. Give away to AEW, every New Japan pride. TA live on the way, AEW, on the road. Different banners, but the same love and passion pounding in us all. Aaron loves wrestling. Every brand, it doesn't matter about the three letters. From the local hall to the global star. Oh my God, that sound. When the entrance hits, we are all ready to start. Aaron loves wrestling. Side by side. No tribal lines, just love for the business worldwide. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. Cody fights for the dreams of us all in red, white, blue. Hangman doesn't stay down, he is always fighting for redemption. Mox bleeds for the business, bringing out the passion in us all. Okada is the rainmaker, the money rains down with every title reign. Cena's never giving up the fight. Fear strikes in the heart of man when Undertaker appears. Sting is the vigilante that every villain fears. Legends will always be remembered, they never retire in our hearts. They will live on forever. From Flair to Michaels, from Hogan to Cena, from Omega's rise to acknowledging Reigns. Different paths but the same damn ring, same damn love for professional wrestling. Say it loud, I love wrestling. Say it proud, I love wrestling. No hate, no tribalism. Just love for the business until the end of time. You know the war goes on your chest. If you love this business, then you're the best. No keyboard warriors, no hate, no lies. Just respect when the warriors rise. From the curtain rise to the final pin, we all are chasing that moment when the bell rings. It's more than title belts, it's more than glory. It's our love for professional wrestling in every story. So pull your hearts up, it's all one love. Every fan's got a place. From every city to every nation, we're united by a love for professional wrestling. Aaron loves wrestling. Hear the crowd with every chant, every heartbeat, and with every tear. Aaron loves wrestling. This is our life. From the rise of a hero to the falling of wrestling. Never ends. From the opening bell to American cowboy will always ride for this. Up to love, we'll always share the love of professional wrestling. For every ring, every wrestler, and every fan. One word, one passion, one truth that I'm confessing.